Alright, everybody, welcome to Operation Rougarou, Episode 2. This is Tyler's Tavern. My name is Tyler. I go by SETX Tyler Yo on socials. It's my tavern. You say hello, my patrons.
Hello.
We're going to start like we always do.
I'm a patron?
Yeah, y'all is my tavern. Y'all are my patrons.
Of this tavern?
Yeah.
That we're all in.
It's the lore, bro. Didn't you read the 200-page wiki?
I didn't vote for you.
You didn't vote for me. How do you think bars work?
We all walked into this tavern together.
I guess you get
What do
you super pregame before you walk into a bar nowadays, huh? You just don't even know how they work. All right, well, let's start off and we're gonna drink. This is a special session where we're going to the city in which everything will take place, and so I made a Sazerac, and the official drink in New Orleans, where it's based. Got me a nice little garnish. Also have me a little pick from the Monte de Leon, which is the carousel bar in New Orleans. I went there and got a Beaucret, and I've never made one as good. So
Fancy.
that's what I got. I don't know.
That sounds nice.
It's a little diluted now. It's been sitting for a minute, but it's still good. Let's go down the pictures below me. Next is Emily.
Hey, it's me. I am drinking a 2019 Riesling from Fiesta Winery.
Ooh, vintage.
The Asian year.
A fresh vintage 2019.
Yeah. Colin, what you got?
I got a San Pellegrino Momenti pomegranate and black currant.
Ooh. Can't even get those in America. That's illegal. Actually, it might not be illegal anymore, but it was.
It was?
Black currants? Yeah, you couldn't grow them here because they had like some fungus that would destroy our ecosystem. So it's like,
damn. I've seen a bunch of them at places, so...
Yeah, I think they mostly got fixed it. I think you can grow them now, but for
that problem.
decades and decades you couldn't. That's why we didn't have that flavor here.
They updated the firmware.
Yeah. We got America Patch 19.420.
Patched
You mean
in
69.420?
No, we hadn't got to that one yet. We can get more fucked. And also below each of their pictures is their social if y'all want to follow them on Twitter and whatnot. So
Can we get more fucked?
bet. Famous last words. Mark, what you drinking?
Today I do have a little bit of chai tea left over, but I'm mostly just going to be one of the Hydro homies today.
Hydro homie.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
What you got? Colton, Mr. Blue Pajamas.
I'm drinking cold, straight out the tap, straight into my workout water bottle.
Hydro homie.
Hydro homie.
But wait, back it up. Tap.
Yeah, tap
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, it's good for the
Iron.
environment,
Also
you
those
dip.
little filters.
Hey, us broke bitches
also,
can't afford refrigerator water dispensers, okay?
Also, it's
Yeah,
better for
filters
the
are expensive,
environment.
bro.
And also, bottled water is shit.
I'm not
There's no
trying
way
to-
from bottled water.
I'm not trying to tell
Fight?
you.
No,
I'm
you
not
trying to
trying
start a
to-
fighting here.
I think he's just trying to kill
what
the
I'm
earth.
saying- No. What I'm saying is the area you live in, you sure want to be drinking that water, boy?
Hey,
Sure, you drinking
the
that water?
water's good.
Got
It's
that
just the
good
chemicals you
surface
can't
water.
taste that will hurt you.
Got that good surface
The
water
chemicals
in there.
in the water that you can taste, great. We got good water here.
You can stick your tongue
don't-
out here and be like, that good old cancer getting in my body.
The same is not true.
People make sure that I know the people who make sure that water clean. I know that water
The,
coming straight in.
the same is not true for the next patron, Mr. Limey Porcupine. He got ass water over there.
Yeah, we got hella ass
Straight
water.
out the ass.
Good.
Actually, no, I'm in Round Round now, so we on the good water
Yeah,
circuit.
you're out of Austin. Austin got that hard water. It got that
Austin got
water
that-
where you take a shower and your hair stands up straight.
yeah.
And you
They
crack
got, they
it.
got them zebra muscle
gross.
water.
So gross.
You ever take 1d4 poison damage in real life, bro?
Yeah. What you drinking, bro?
I have another classic Arnold Palmer. I might fit some
Ooh, that's
cocktail later. If I don't, I'm gonna be a hydro homie.
Hey. And finally, we got Mr. @YourKing_Leo Man.
You already know exactly. I am a hydro homie.
Hydro homies.
Hydro homie.
I also have okay. I've been on a little bit of a tirade recently. Look, Christmas time means cranberry soda to me,
Yes.
right? Well, Sierra Mist had the best one. They don't make that no more. And then Sprite this year has like Winter Spiceberry or something, and it ain't no good.
What the fuck is
It's
this
it's like pumpkin spice except more
nothing.
Christmas plus cranberry, and it's trash.
Jesus Christ.
So the closest I could get is this Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale. It's literally the closest thing I could find. Also, you might see me pump my face full of this pot roast because I showed up late from work and I'm still hungry.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
You know they're
Let me
not
see
doing
that
that.
pot
Oh,
roast.
yeah.
Yeah,
Put it
yeah.
up to the camera.
You know they're not doing the LeBron
they're here.
James
The
fried
pizza's
cranberry
here.
Christmas this year. It's
Why
so sad.
not?
It's I don't know. They just didn't. It's so
Alright,
sad.
So y'all go grab a pizza real quick.
Sorry.
Pizza time.
No, you're good. I'm gonna go ahead and take a second to shill. Where's the thing? Here it is. Yeah, so if you've liked session 1 and are excited about more sessions, you can follow on Twitch. That is free. You can go to YouTube to catch all the VODs as they hit there. Also free. And to correct myself from last time, I said that the session was going to be long. I actually decided afterwards that I'm going to split the YouTubes in half. So the game's going to come out as soon as I can after the session. And then Tavern Therapy will be the week after. So something will come out every week. If you want to catch it all at once, you can benefit of watching here live on Twitch. If you want to get notification, you follow on Twitter, also free. And if you want to learn more about the world, because there's quite a bit in there, and it's growing every day, because I think I hit 30,000 words. Is that what I posted in Discord the other day? I've been typing a lot in there, so if you want to learn more, there's a ton to learn. Let's go back here. And then, oh yeah, I'll give the floor to Connor to chill about his game for a second while I eat some pot roast.
Yeah. While he is starving down them nutrients, we do have the sister stream for this over at twitch.tv/LimeyFortifine, where we do Starfinder, a story about intrepid adventurers into the vast unknown of the Pariah Sector. You can catch that. Same time. Pre-show starts at 6:30. The game itself starts typically around 7. Twitch.tv/LimeyFortifine. You can follow me at LimeyFortifine on Twitter for updates on that. We didn't have one last week because I was very busy, but we should have one next week. So be ready for that.
I think they're still getting their pizza. I got some Christmas trees here. I'm a little festive. Where's my other hand? There it is.
A little festive.
Oh, I also got these on Black Friday sale from Display. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but they're super sick.
What we doing?
They still got it wrapped, so they might be a little shiny. I got the DMG. It's like a metal poster from Display. I got
Ooh.
the PHP.
Nice, dude.
And I got a Monster Manual. I got the full set. So.
Displate is cool. Displate is like one of those sites where you look at it and it feels like a stamp, but you can't find anything that's stamp worthy about it.
Yeah.
You know, like
I got it. They're nice. Like,
it's like you know, there's so many other like scams out there where they just like literally steal art and slap it on a shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially for like gaming stuff like that. And like Displate, it's like everything seems on the up and up. I don't know if that's just.
I think
being
Display
tainted by so
used
many
to have
bad
issues
examples.
because, like, you can find old examples of, like, I was looking for potential gifts for people of like other properties that like did exist. I see screenshots and they no longer do. So I think they're definitely like probably just had artists upload stuff, but now it's all like 100% on the up and up.
That's cool.
So yeah, artists deserve to be paid.
And it's cool.
100%.
Yeah.
Y'all
joke.
get Charles Pizza?
I did.
Yes, we did.
Is Colton at the mic?
We are pizzaed up. Colton's back.
Cool.
Yeah, I just had pizza in my mouth. I'm here though.
What type of
All
pizza
right.
was it though, by the way? Just want to know.
It's a pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni.
Yeah! Alright.
My fave, a classic.
Yes, can't go wrong.
All right, so let's go ahead and hit the recap. In the previous eventful days, you have each individually said goodbye to your previous lives and loved ones. You all boarded trains to join the military of the United Shard for each of your own reasons, which eventually brought you all together. You were all brought to Sachez Keep, which is one of the many locations in which new recruits are gathered and assessed, and their fates decided on which they lean and how they work and where they're going to be deployed. During the assignment, you witnessed great warriors, mages, and healers who excelled at their craft and truly put on a show for what it means to be a hero. In these same tasks, you all kind of struggled to keep pace. At the end of the assignment, the person running the assessment, Sergeant Drake, had acknowledged a gentleman he referred to as General Kavanaugh. You were all then brought to quarters for rest for the evening. The next morning, you all received your assignments that you would leave at the end of the day to Fort Marshope in Bolithglade. Until then, you were forced to endure PT, where at first you ran until you collapsed, were brought back up, and told to keep going. After a lunch break, the next challenge was to continuously kill and repair your dummies for hours. Given the first bit of freedom within the walls of Satch's Keep, you decided to work together and use Scarlet's, Bonfire, and Brand's medical skills, as well as everybody kind of being worker bees, to continue the task into the evening, and the first bit of collaboration between the six of you. As the evening approached, you were all given warning by Sergeant Drake that you must train as intensely as you did today, because if you don't, you or an ally will die on the battlefield. As he dismissed you, the group headed towards the mess hall, and finally to their training for departure. Everyone lamented at the extreme exhaustion they had experienced through the day. As they went and rest, they all individually took some time to reflect on their pasts, their decisions to join, regrets and hopes, as well as the future as they drifted on to sleep. The sun has risen, and it has laid to rest on the final day of your previous lives. On these days of momentous change, the sun will now rise once again to present to you your future lives.
Ooh.
The day is Friday, March 19th, in the year Palor 765. You are awoken by the sound of a handbell, ging, 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 and roll over to see the friendly conductor. He says, "Well, if I be the first to say it, welcome to Rougeford." Physically exhausted, you all slowly wake and find it hard to move your limbs, fatigued and aching, but as you sit up and climb down from the bunks and head to one of the sitting cars and look out the window, and as your senses awaken, you all witness the city of Rougeford for the first time in each of your lives, because none of you have ever traveled here, none of y'all are from here. Still very much on the approach to the city, you see deep, unrelenting swamps. The land around you is completely submerged in an opaque mud, saturated with water that only juts above the ground and sludges of mud at its highest point, becoming that thick gumbo clay that shifts as you would stand. The landscape is, however, just as lush with swamp vegetation. Mangroves and willow trees find their roots, and plenty of smaller cattails and mushrooms of rot live in their shadows. Even through the walls, you hear the sounds of the creatures that make home here. The sounds of crickets in the early morning kind of could become deafening, but through their wail, you hear the low croaks of the swamp frogs and the gators, as well as the higher chirps of the birds that walk among the marshes, hunting for a meal, their long legs poking down into the water. And in the background, you hear what seems to be a loud wail in the background, muted by a distance. It comes to each of your minds the question, why anyone in such a desolate, seemingly impassable place would choose to live here? When the follow-up thought is now, this is going to be home sweet home. The next overwhelming sensation you get as you kind of further wake up is this overbearing, awful smell. It's the smell of pure rot. The smell of decay. It's sour, it's pungent, it almost smells burnt, and it feels like it singes your nose hairs. It's unnatural compared to kind of what you would expect. The conductor sees you all kind of recoil, and he says, "Alright, the smell's hit you, eh? You'll get used to it. Still gets me every time I get close to Rougeford." And so he then says, well, it comes from parts of the swamp, of course, but the real pungency comes from the city. Have any of you ever used low magic crystals?
A bit.
Actually, no, never.
Well, the theory is, as I understand it, with low magic, energy is taken from the world around you, and these crystals expedite that process and make it more than a caster naturally would. But of course, now we got portable spells that everybody can use. Anyway, Rougeford is a city of low magic crystal production, and it seems to have accelerated the rate of rot and decay in the swamps around it. You can smell it in the air whether you want to or not, but after about a week you won't notice it anymore.
So this is all from low magic crystals?
Well, I mean, swamps don't smell good by themselves, but the crystals kind of speed up the process. Especially on such a big scale, you know. Hey, the energy gotta come from somewhere. Well, I gotta say, I like you lot. I think you're gonna do great things.
Tyler, is there
Yeah.
still like creatures and stuff like living in the marsh?
Yeah. You saw. I mean, you hear the sounds of crickets all over. You can see birds with long legs diving down and hitting fishes. You can hear the croaks of the frogs and gators. Like it has swamp life.
Can I like pick up a frog and like do a medicine check and like see?
You are on a moving train.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, you want to try to lean over and grab something, you're more than welcome. You understand the character. There should be some checks involved.
Yeah,
I could
no,
use
I'm good.
I could use Mage Hand.
Yeah, Mage Hand would be good.
On a moving train.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You want to try that?
I would.
No.
Okay.
I mean, not unless I like see him. I mean, not unless I don't know. Not unless Bran says something about wanting to grab a frog or something.
I think Bran like tries to like catch. Are there trees close to the train line? He like tries to like swipe for an animal.
It's just
on
like
a
our
tree.
train lines near home. Like there's there's a like an embankment and then there's some trees, but the
Yeah.
embankment's probably like 4 or 5 feet long.
Yeah,
What
he
time,
leans out the window and tries to snatch one.
Whoa! What? What are you doing?
I'm researching the wildlife.
But we're on a
Or what?
we're on a moving train.
It is.
I think it needs to be clear that my quest is of the utmost importance.
Are you trying to make another drink there, buddy?
What a
Perhaps.
bitch, dude.
Could be.
Scarlet will try and grab something with with Mage Hand.
Sure, we'll do a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Okie doke.
Oh, I guess I can change the scene. We are on the train.
Say, can I still make my attempt with like athletics or something? 'Cause I'm using core strength out the window.
Are you actually trying?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right,
That's
yeah.
Assuming it's not completely out of like reasonable.
Do you think that you might be able to lean down? Like, you won't get near like a tree or nothing. Do you think you might be able to get something if it's close? You think
Okay.
that you understand that there's danger associated with doing this, but that's up to you whether you want to go through or not.
I think this is where we play the reckless card.
All right.
14 athletics check.
Oh God.
Yeah, you lean over and you see this big bullfrog with its eyes kind of bulging on either side. You hear "Roar," and you can see it in the distance, and you lean over to try to catch it, and you get it in your hand, and it just perfectly hops out right before you get to grasp it.
Like slippity slops out of his
Yeah.
hands.
Son of a bitch.
Like you were so pissed because it was right here. DC in my
Yep.
head was like 15. You almost had it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scarlet tried and failed at disadvantage.
Yeah, so you like after it pops out, you're like, "Wait, I got it!" And you cast Mage Hand.
I
and
just like slap
and-
it with Mage Hand.
Yeah, it comes out and like you don't get to grasp it, and you just kind of slap it, and you feel a little bad for just slapping a frog who was just living his
Sorry.
life. Rob.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah,
Brand like slides back into the window.
I'm sure we'll come back.
Yeah, you see the train conductor looks over, he's just shaking his head, and he's like, "Gotta say, I like you guys. I think you're gonna do great things. You know, this train's seen quite a few great people come through.
Like who?
Oh yeah, plenty of great warriors and wizards and clerics. We've moved payloads of shifted tides of war. I'm sure what we've done here. I'm sure proud of what we've done here on the old engine. In fact, have you heard of the Black Iron Bandits?
Oh
Ooh,
God, I'm
yes.
so tired of hearing about those assholes.
Oh, what you got against them guys?
Actually, I haven't.
Hate them.
Well, I I'll tell you what. So they were some guys who took out another rival gang that had killed a bunch of people in the mines. And there was one stint where they were chasing one of them guys, and they hijacked the train, and they had gagged me and taken over the train. I think his name was.
Wait, they gagged you?
Oh, no, the exiled outlaws, the other guys, the bad guys.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Continue.
Yeah, they gagged me. Well, I tell you what, the Black Iron Bandits, they came in, fought them on the roof, ungagged me, and stopped the train right in time.
Wow.
Real war heroes those guys became.
That seems pretty badass. Nah, I ain't even gonna lie.
No,
that seems pretty badass.
It's very cool.
I was real proud.
You're real proud to. You just said you didn't do anything except get
No,
gagged.
he was like,
I'm proud of those guys. I was gagged.
Like part of the story.
Yeah,
Part of the story.
You know, you got a hometown you're proud of. I'm proud of this old engine we got here. And he kind of pats the sides of the walls. Sure, you got a storied past. Anyway, we should be coming up on the. Yes, we should be coming up on the city shortly. In a few minutes after saying that, you guys start to see this city start to show from behind the trees. The city has a small haze over it, but as you get closer, you see that Rougeford is, without a doubt, the largest city that you have ever set eyes on. This includes you, Tatho, who is from the capital.
Yeah.
This city is old and new all at the same time. You know that this was one of the first cities settled by the outside powers due to its important positioning, but since the advent of low magic crystals, it has absolutely exploded in size and population. To those of you who haven't traveled much or been to the city, this is a true marvel, something you could not expect a sensation of.
Yeah. Never been to the big city before?
No.
I've never seen it before.
Nah. Well, take your eyes, feast your eyes or whatever. I mean, not everything is hunky-dory, but...
You'd think that with a plague around that not this many people would want to settle next to each other, but, yeah, whatever, man.
I mean, there's a lot more stuff going on than just a goddamn plague, but that's cool.
So yeah, the specific part you're coming up on seems to be a massive dock, and you hear the sounds of the river flowing. In fact, let me go ahead and we'll go to the first teaser of the city.
Yay! Bring me to where I need to be.
Bring me to the city.
I'm not gonna drop y'all's people in here. Just keep the stream for a second. I'll bring y'all's people in a second.
Can I be in the city too?
I want to be in the city.
I'm in the swamp.
Yeah. Now,
I'm still in the goddamn swamp.
Everyone's still in the swamp. He's just showing off.
I'm showing it to you guys. I'm not morphing y'all to fight.
Oh.
I'm defending this swamp.
The specific part you come up to seems to be this massive dock, and you hear the sounds of the river flowing and dock workers yelling all sorts of profanity at each other. The conductor then says, "Well, it seems like our fun here is about to come to an end. Once we reach the station, you will be escorted by some soldiers that will bring you to Fort Marshope for further instructions. It has been a pleasure, and I do hope I get to see you all again in one piece."
What was your name?
Oh, my name is Randall Boulderbrand. Conductor.
Randall what?
Conductor Randall Boulderbrand.
Boulderbrand.
Randall Boulderbrand.
Yeah, Boulderbrand.
As in like a rock.
Correct.
As in like a big giant. Okay, cool.
Rock, and then brand, like our
Gotcha.
player. Not related. Let's go back. So yeah, you approach the station, which is right here. Ooh. There we go. You approach the station and all step off and are greeted by a soldier in the usual red military uniform you've started to become accustomed to seeing. He is a human, he's on the smaller side, and he kind of stands straight up and goes, as y'all walk off to the train, he goes, my name is Private Simmons. If the following soldiers are in attendance, then we can proceed with our instructions. Private Brand, Private Keaton, Private Nichols, Private Wildheart, Private Lero, and Private Lubert. Are you all present?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. We are now to escort you to your quarters in Fort Marshope. And so they bring you in a straight line through the cities. Countless little things catch your eye, but they insist that you kind of keep focus and bring you directly to the fort.
I have a question about as we're walking to the fort.
Oops.
Is it mostly like paved roads and buildings? Or are there any like parks or shrubs or anything, or is it pretty developed?
In the exact path you go through a portion that has massive buildings, and you go through like a city park with some trees. The next part of the city you go to, because he's kind of nervous and he's really making sure that y'all get to where y'all need to go. It seems like a place that has a little bit more nature, but it's more like landscaped. You can tell it's not natural, especially you as a druid. Like, these plants are intentionally placed here. And then you cross over a huge river. In fact, I'm going to bring y'all on right where y'all are going to be.
Oh, champ.
Let's go.
Bring me out. Let me
Where
out
we
of the
drop it?
swamp.
Bro,
Let us
Where we-
in.
every time you ask, I'm delaying by an hour.
Hey,
Been in the
hey,
swamp the
hey, all I
entire
got to say,
time.
all I got to say is where we dropping, boys. That's
Where we
it.
dropping, boy? Sasuke with the blicky no jutsu.
All right. So yeah, this is you kind of coming up on the last little bit, and then you're going to cross over here, and then you come to this ginormous fort. This is certainly the largest building any of you have ever seen, by a country mile. Yeah, so you see this massive fort along the river. Its main entrance faces the nice part of town that you're walking from. And on the other end lies a huge port that you can kind of see in the distance with a couple small warships docked. Along the roof you can see cannons.
Oh shit, I'm dead.
Are you still laying down?
Yeah.
Nice.
Taking a nap.
Yeah, okay,
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
so...
is the map active, by the way? Like the map is active, or what?
Yes, I'll kind of walk y'all through, because I'm going to have to move y'all specifically through the building, because it's not at 100% yet.
Okay.
So yeah, you see in the distance a port. It has some warships docked. And then on top of the roof, you see tons of cannons lined up, peeking right past the eave. It's entirely made of stone. And it's catches... I would like each of you to do a nature check. If you can.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all can walk past the river, but don't go into the building, please.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a nat 1. 4.
I got a with that -1, I got a 15. Oof.
I'm bad
Oh,
at nature.
nice.
I'm
Nice,
druid
nice,
bad at
nice.
nature.
Who got above a 13?
I did.
I did.
Okay, everybody who did.
Oh, I got a 20.
Nice. Yeah, for everybody who got above a 13, it catches you that it's so odd that a building made of stone so large and so heavy could be built on swampland. Like, that catches you as odd. To everybody else, it's just a big-ass building and you're in WoW.
Yeah.
So, the guy who brought you says, your quarters are on the second floor, please follow me. And one of the... you climb up, you go into the building, and you can see it's all stone corridors, and he brings you up a set of stairs. And I'm going to teleport you guys, so if I can just not move for a second, please.
Fuck, champ, not moving.
I was trying to get there. I was trying to rush.
Red light.
Scarlet, you're still moving with your foot.
No, I'm not. I'm done.
He's watching the stream probably that's delayed.
Red light,
Hell
green
no,
light.
I'm watching.
Red light, green light.
All right.
I like these flowers next to these graves in the center of the pavilion. Is this a pavilion?
Oh yeah, if
Courtyard?
you want to ask him about that, you could.
Huh?
Say if you wanted to talk to them about that or say that out loud, we can RP that because y'all do walk past those.
Scarlet is gonna point to the I guess the graves and the flowers, and she'll be like, who are they?
Oh, yeah. So, in fact, actually, I need to pull up something. I have the names written down.
Foggy champers.
Yeah. So y'all don't move from where you're all at until I kind of give you the say. My one document I didn't have up. I'm a failure. I'll see you guys never. I quit.
Better open it up 90
no.
times on 90 different tabs.
No, I save all them in a tab bundler, and then I open them after things because I need my RAM. Thank you.
Just need my RAM, he says, with more than 10 tabs open.
I paid for RAM. I'm going to use it, you slut. All right, so he goes, oh, yeah, so this building is the fort, but it's also like the center of government. So each of these statues are for a different kind of older god that they used to worship. We have on one side the courthouse of Foltis, we have the executive wing of St. Cuthbert, and the Rao legislator. They're not graves, they're mostly just placards. And you can read a little about them, and you know how the people used to believe it, and how we still hold their values and whatnot. You know, but let's make sure that we make pace. Chris, where'd you go? It doesn't matter. I'm teleporting you guys.
She's tugging at a door.
You
He wants
blended
to
it.
know.
Not supposed to
No. Bad.
Yeah.
He will take permission.
All right, so y'all, yeah, he walks you up into this hallway.
Come on, I just want to pee.
They say your quarters are on the second floor. Please follow me. Brings you up, and as you get closer, you see the oddest group of individuals lined up.
Are we not
It
the
sounds
oddest individuals?
no.
Damn.
It looks like there's both an alligator man and a lizard man standing there. But as you get closer, it seems like a man in a metal suit with a floating skull behind him is yelling at another man with a cat on his shoulder who is wearing a sweater. Connor, if you'd like to take a look.
Yeah. Zelroth, I told you! Be careful! You already lost one of the fucking fingers! How did you lose a fucking finger?
Well, just listen. I was just having some fun. You know, playing.
Is that what you call it, huh? What, you bet it or something? You know those are very, very hard to make. You know it's very expensive to do.
I don't get to use my cool sword powers anymore. I just.
You sure have the hand.
Hey, since it's already fallen off, can I just see what it tastes like?
Yeah, of
Oh my
course.
God.
Of course.
No,
Why
don't
not?
eat. No, it don't taste like metal. Like the last time you ate metal. You
Listen,
tried to eat
I don't
one of
know
Leon's arrowheads, for Christ's sake.
Maybe he put his hand in some spices.
Scarlett's gonna whisper to the tour guide, Private Simmons or something.
Yeah, Private Simmons.
She's gonna be like, who's that?
Austin, give me a list of all the times that they've done explicitly what I told them not to.
Yeah, he's getting yelled over, he goes, "I'll tell you in just a second. Look, you can just kind of let him be. They'll walk away. I promise."
Dawson, give me the list. I know you have the list.
Sir, the list is so long, I am overflowing.
And there it is, isn't it? Isn't it, lads?
Isn't it?
Overflowing is a good thing.
Yeah, if it overflows, it doesn't count anymore.
No, that's not what he means. It means he
I think
literally
it is
can't
what he
remember. He can't remember everything. He got a brain in there.
Well, I got a
Where's
brain in
Leon?
here.
He will back me up with this. Where's Leon?
Wait, you're telling me that there was a juicy brain in that skull the whole time, and I didn't know?
No, yeah, you're not allowed to eat it.
Please,
been
sir,
over
I would
this.
like to contain my consciousness.
But
We've
brain-
all been very close to death, and I don't want to go back there again.
I mean, look, it was one time I dropped him off a train.
And then also the time he got hit with the bolt, and then also the time he almost died to the druids. And then, you know what? Let's
Yes,
go back.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it.
He says he cannot die, but I assure you it is false. I keep him up.
Right, but you with the machine spirit, and he with me, and you're with me, so like the machine spirit with me, so we can't die.
Master, if I do have to say, we spent a lot of time fixing Zelroth's hand. I think we should go back to the crystal and begin our actual investigation.
Oh, you're right. We've been so busy. You're right, Doc.
Is everybody in agreement? What say you, Rex?
I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, whatever. Let's do whatever.
That's an affirmative. How about you, Zelroth?
I suppose, yes.
How about you, Leon?
I guess. I need to go get some more finger food soon.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Let us go back to the lab.
Just go down to the morgue. I'm sure they've got some unidentifiable food.
And so these guys continue to bicker for just ever. And you see them take off into this corridor where they enter a small room. And you can just hear them yelling through the walls. And Private Simmons, as they walk off, he goes, yeah, those guys are the Black Iron Bandits. After their last shindig, they kind of helped protect the payload that they took. But they are quite the handful. We mostly just leave them alone. They kind of do their thing.
You can just say dumb if you
Scarlet's
want, you know.
Oh, they're not all
Shit.
book dumb. Only some of them book
Can there
dumb.
be a
But the
big
other...
explosion that happens as soon as after he says, they're not that dumb?
No, so what happens is he goes, well, so some of them are book dumb, and the other half are street dumb, and then that kind of makes the whole group boom. And
Sorry!
and you hear the Dawson goes, oh, please, we gotta put the fire. Just get it your sweater, maybe. And so Private Simmons goes, let me bring you to your quarters. And
Scarlet's like, so you guys are cool with explosions then, huh?
They mostly. I mean, we have other guards in there that kind of keep them reined in. He's nervous, kind of commenting on these guys and you get the sense that like he kind of has to say nice things about them, but that it's not always.
Hey, did you guys hear Simmons just now?
So yeah.
Yes.
As they keep bickering
About just
and head
again.
into the back room, he brings you into this one.
So can we play D&D in D&D at this table?
Sure.
Oh my fuck.
Let's go. Bunions and flagons.
Humans in houses.
He goes, yeah, your room.
Humans and houses.
He goes, yeah, your room is this one on the left. Honestly, I can't believe you guys got your own room. That's wild.
It's so big.
I don't understand, but you will have a short time to unpack and get used to your new arrangements, and we'll come get you for your assignments. Boys probably keep on one side, girls probably keep on the other, but feel free to claim your own beds. I'll be back in a little bit to get you what you need to do next. And so he takes his leave, and you guys are kind of alone in your new room. This is your quarters.
So,
Scarlet throws her backpack down and flops down on the bed by the window.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
It's
That
not-
means we go to the left.
It's not necessarily specifically uncomfortable, but it's very hard mattress.
She loves it.
Also, by the way, y'all choose whatever bed y'all want. I will gladly take whichever ones y'all do not want.
And there's lots of beds.
What? No. You know, you're over there on the other side as a
Yeah.
female, as he literally already suggested. So I walked over here
mean,
like the
what?
gentleman I am.
What is
And I was
that?
talking to the men.
What does that have to do with anything, right? What?
What? I'm literally
Uh,
just following orders.
Brand takes out a bottle and splashes some strange purple liquid onto his hands and starts slathering it on his bedroll.
I don't want that
Alright.
shit, even if
Very-
I did.
Brand
Just
gets
walk
a
away.
very heavy eye roll and
Yeah.
just starts
I'm
unpacking
just
stuff.
gonna say Bran probably gets his bed, and we'll do something like this.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of say hello to your new bed, and like this room is
Hello, bed.
large,
Oh, Bob.
and you do have these windows in the back that as you look out, you get this kind of gorgeous view of the river, and on the other side it's just pure forest that goes very quickly into like marshy swamps, but it goes as far as you can see. That this part of the city isn't developed. You're kind of very much on the far side. You got a great view.
I
How
let
high-
Daisy out.
How high up are we?
And this is to scale, so
I mean, we're on the.
30 feet.
30 feet.
30
Sick.
30
I'm gonna
plus
look
feet.
down at the ground, out the window, and I'm gonna use
Hey,
druid
each-
craft, make a
each-
little flower bloom.
Out the
Yeah,
window.
each story is 15 feet with the floor, so y'all are about 35 feet up.
Wait,
okay.
what is it that you did again, Connor?
I'm gonna look out the window and see like a little budding flower, and I'm gonna wave my fingers and cast druid craft and have the flower bloom.
Here, I got you, bro. One sec. We're about to do something.
Oh
Hello.
shit!
Hell
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Where
Scarlet
are you?
impressed.
You're the farthest bed to the side? No, you're the middle bed? Is that where you are?
I'm the middle bed on the women's side.
Next to
you go.
me.
Specifically, it's a daffodil.
Nice. Well, this is the flower icon I have. But yeah, you got a little flower that popped up.
Ooh.
Foggy Champers.
Ooh.
Scarlet's impressed.
We can
Could
get
you
more
do
of
that?
these, right?
Could you do that in my window?
Yeah,
Please. It's really cool.
sure. And I'll tape the same thing, have a bud. Take one of the seeds out of the flower of the daffodil and put it on our windowsill and cast Druidcraft.
You know, we got 4 more windows over here, so I think it would really spruce the place up on this side.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know,
This is very cool. This is real nice. I never had flower. I never had a window, much less a window with flowers. This is nice.
really
Got that
living
girl
large
coming
now,
from
huh?
No?
Hmm?
You
Moving up
never
in
had
the
a
world.
Yeah, like you
No.
sound like you're coming from a third world country or something like that. I
Well,
shouldn't
I
be
was
talking
just-
though.
I was just in the middle of a like a school. Like I was in a middle, like when a building is so big it's got like middle rooms. That was, yeah. It's not like
That-
I've never seen a window, just that I haven't had a bed next to a window. It's nice.
I'm gonna just take your word for it because I can't imagine anything like that. You'd have to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can't imagine
The building
anything
that we're
like
in likely has rooms that don't have windows.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's
I
rooms
mean,
without windows, and
the school aspect of it, I can't understand that, but that's what I'm referencing.
Hey, I just had a room without windows. Yeah, that's not that weird.
Eh.
Sounds
It's nice.
quite unpleasant, actually.
Yes, it does have its charm staring at the water all the time, I suppose.
Not to be frank, that shit sucks. Not to be frank.
You get seasick?
No, I'm talking about your situation still. That shit sucks.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not like,
It's not like she's in
Yeah.
it now.
yeah. I'm just saying it's nice. The flower's nice. The window's nice. I'm allowed to like things.
Connor, as this
Shut
goes
your-
on,
shut
does
your
your
mouth.
character Druidcraft in the other windows?
Yeah, I'll go and I'll put some daffodils in the other windows.
Let's do this.
Rain, magic. Where did you learn that?
Magic is a custom of my people.
Ooh.
Remind me what race your character is?
She's
She looks
human.
human.
Yeah, your character would recognize her as a human.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are people.
She's a druid. Or she's from a druid tribe, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. I think we
What
did.
part of the continent are you from?
I am from
Apramia.
Apramia. I tried to remember how to
Yeah.
pronounce it.
Yeah.
I
Two
am-
L's equals a Y.
I'm from the Apramia Expanse. Deep in the jungle.
Yeah,
I
you-
belong to
I'm sorry. Keep
my
going.
tribe who were settled there for centuries.
Oh.
We learned magic and other things.
The city must be quite an adjustment then, huh?
It is jarring, to say the least.
Branda's taking notes.
Yeah, Brandon, everybody else, you would know that. Just from the general knowledge of politics, that it is the land of druids. They keep to themselves. They don't like to interfere. But the actual geography is thick, dense jungles and beautiful, gorgeous white sand beaches until it hits the mountains. So
I heard it's real pretty there.
So why would you give your life to the military?
She's on a special quest, obviously. Jeez, guys.
Is that what we're all on, a special quest?
Well, I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
gee.
I'm gonna be frank. Ain't shit special about me. My parents are broke, and I need the actual money to help them out. Not just parents. I'm trying to provide for my family as well. So it's nothing really too special about it. Is that I'm strong, I hit hard, and I need to do that. I mean, there's some other things I would like to do, but other than that, that's the main thing.
All of our paths are different and unique, and yours sounds just as special as any.
Well, I mean, you say that your mission or your quest isn't very special, but maybe that is that sword you've been kind of keeping close to you. I've noticed.
Yeah, it's my dad made it. You know, it was the last thing he made before he got in with the wrong crowd and started owing some money, and they, messed up his leg pretty bad, and so he could no longer practice blacksmithing. But I keep it close to me. I don't think I'll ever shed blood with it, but it is something. It is definitely a memento that
May
I
I
keep.
see the sword?
Tato hesitantly hands Brand the sword.
Don't give it to him.
It's in Brand's hand. It's in Brand's hands.
Yeah, Brand just sort of acknowledges the craftsmanship of it and observes it and draws a little sketch of it and hands it back.
I take it back or whatever, and then that's it. It's like, so what do you think? You just awfully quiet, he's kind of a little nervous because you're looking at his dad's work, so he's real nervous with it. So like he's like, you like it? Is it,
Yeah, I can make an assumption if you want, Tyler. But what do I think?
You think that this was a man at the peak of his craft. This is a very, very fine made sword.
Like almost a mastercraft level, sort of.
You can tell that this is about as good as a sword gets until you introduce magic.
Yes, it is a very good sword, and
I will say in a meta sense that nobody here has any plus weapons. Plus weapons, they're going to use some magic, basically. So,
oh, okay, got you.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Just in the sense of this world, you think this is a beautiful, gorgeously made, excellently crafted sword, but it's not necessarily going to hit stronger than a slightly worse sword. But it is, truly a work of art.
Yeah.
Tons of time and dedication. This isn't just a, mass-produced sword.
This is an exceptionally made blade.
Yeah, and you can see it has, some kind of symbols and carvings of, the wild hearts, crest of seal, it's personalized as well. Now, Charles, if you want to give it any specific visuals, you absolutely can.
I was still thinking because I wanted to draw it out myself, but I haven't figured out how I want to do that. Let alone I haven't figured out how to draw figures.
Sure.
So once that happens, we'll be able to.
Yeah, I'll post it on Twitter or something for everybody to see. But it's
Yeah.
very individualized.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll make sure I do that and then start practicing with that with digital arts. That way, it's fucking there and it's easy to see. Hell yeah!
Yeah, we'll post it for view somewhere. But it is an individualized, artful thing that took a ton of time.
Like an artisan blade.
Brand touches the blade and sort of makes it light up in the sections that it's sort of got intricate craftsmanship, and hands it back over to him.
Yeah, I keep it on my back because I want to make sure that my parents always have my back. So that's why I have it there. That's the other reason why I never use it. Standard issue is on the waist.
That's real nice.
It's
Right now, I can only enhance things with very light visuals, but I may be able to enhance your blade more later. If you are interested in adding magic, of course, I would not interfere with your father's workmanship.
Ooh.
It sounds that your father cared greatly making you that trinket whenever you departed.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think they put a lot of faith in what I was wanting to do. So I guess after we're talking a little bit, I think my quest is a lot more special because there's a lot more people dependent on me than just me.
Yeah.
Well, from what we saw in PT, or at least from what I saw out of you, I can certainly understand why they would put that much faith in you.
I mean, you say that, but wait till my sister gets older. I promise you, she's gonna be way stronger than me, man. But anyway, I appreciate the compliment, but you weren't too bad yourself either. Besides the test, I mean, we knew like absolutely nothing, but but that's it.
Were those actually words? I
I'm
think they
still
just put a
confused
bunch
on
of letters
myself.
down.
I have no idea. Tell me where to swing, don't tell me to think, man.
I can't believe they're already flirting.
What?
Scarlet, so I saw you opened your chest, and so
Yeah.
just kind of describe the room, I guess, a little bit more. You open your chest and you look down, and the chest looks bigger on the inside than it does on the outside. Just to be frank.
Nice. I guess Scarlet starts putting her stuff away.
Yeah,
How much bigger is it on the inside?
Probably it's probably like a you put it in, and it's probably like I don't know, 4-ish feet deep. It's enough where you kind of have to bend all the way over to touch the bottom.
Ooh, so I could like get inside of it.
Sure.
Scarlet gets
step,
inside.
bro.
No,
Scarlet
stop.
steps
Stop
inside.
it.
Go to
Bro.
jail. I'm about to fucking mute your ass like I did the other day.
As they're admiring the sword, Scarlet opens the chest, sees how big
Yeah.
it is, and just like
Yeah,
steps
so-
inside
yeah,
of it.
Yeah, you're like what 5'2"-ish as a
Yeah,
character.
she's short.
Yeah, so you get in there and like you stand up
Like, up
like
to my
flat-footed. Yeah, and it's like you guys just see like a head poking out, and you look at this impossible geometry, and they're
She's like,
confused.
"You
None of you have ever
guys-
seen anything like this.
You guys,
What
it's
is
a
it?
big chest.
Oh,
Hey,
And it's the size of the model here. Like it's just a footlocker that she is now standing fully in.
I'm gonna crawl to the foot of the bed like an actual kid and just look at like, what the fuck? What is happening?
And to go along the other sides of the room, if you look at the outside, there's a mirror to the left. In the center is a map of the world, which is that same map we have in World Anvil. And on the right is like a tapestry with the crest of the United Shard. And then this table in the middle was a table that's like a massive blown out map of Rougeford with like pins and little trinkets on it. And now there's a bunch of lights everywhere because you can imagine in all stone room, you kind of have quite a bit of light to be able to see things, even in midday. But yeah, y'all look over and see Scarlet like head popping out of a chest that should only be 16, 18 inches deep.
KK is also into the chest.
Yeah,
But she
nothing
closes
feels
it.
weird. Like this isn't like an
She
odd
closes
thing.
it.
He closes it.
Yeah, you close it. You disappear to everybody else. You're fine. You can breathe pretty good.
Also, by the way, what is her race again?
KK?
The one-
KK?
Okay.
No, not KK, but Scarlet. Yeah,
She is a half elf.
half elf. Okay, cool.
You, so yeah, you just know that she's a half elf from her ears. Otherwise, she looks pretty human.
Yeah, she's on the
Gotcha.
human side of Half-Elf.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Chris just disappears. But Chris, you feel fine. It doesn't seem weird in any conceivable way.
This is so cool.
She's going to slightly crack open the lid so you can only see her eyes.
Scarlet waves.
She waves back.
All right.
So,
Yeah, Scarlet will unpack. She'll put all her stuff in her trunk, except for, the stuff that she keeps on her, which I guess would be not very much. Like, I guess like a single change of clothes, I think.
So yeah, y'all all take a minute to kind of unpack, and then about 20 minutes since he left you, the same young, skittish private arrives and knocks on the door and kind of
We're all hiding in our chests.
he goes, well, I have been personally assigned by General Kavanaugh to bring you to his quarters, and you can see he's a little shaky as he's saying this. I don't know what you guys did, but advice from one private to another, you should stay on your P's and Q's, because I cannot imagine why he would be wanting to see a group of privates. This is the first time he's ever talked to me.
Oh.
well, you're welcome.
Do you think?
So everybody roll a quick.
Wait,
Everybody roll
do
a
y'all
quick
think-
history check.
do y'all think this is
History
about
check.
how we set fire to all those? How I set fire to all those dummies and
Woo! That's a
we
good
opened
roll.
up a cavern?
Yeah,
Woo!
let's
I
answer
rolled
that
a
after the
3.
history checks. Tell me, anybody who gets. Did anybody make above a 10?
Woo.
Yes.
Yes.
For the people who
Why
did,
am I rolling so bad?
you will understand that General Kavanaugh is the absolute head of the military. He's number one.
Oh shit.
The fact that he is talking to a bunch of scrubs is. You can see why he's a little skittish. To everybody else, this is like. I'll put it this way. You, as an American, do you know who the general of the army is below the commander-in-chief?
No.
Yeah, that's it's just like you join the military, but you don't know all
We
its
don't
history and
know.
background. Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
know.
the people who do like had read up a little bit before they came, so they recognize the name.
Got it.
But the otherwise, it's like general is a high up rank. You don't really have the context of it. So he goes. So yeah, Emily says, "Do you think it's about the setting the dummies on fire?" Private goes, I don't know. But good luck, guys. Come follow me. Hey,
All right.
shout out to this
Yeah.
first time viewer,
Yay.
Stevo's Gaming Dungeon. We about to have a good time. About to explore some plot. Okay, so I'm just gonna teleport y'all into the next scene.
Release us.
Yay.
Everybody, I would say, unless you actually intend to move in actual game, do not move. I will take any actual movements as movement.
As a threat.
Chris is just like, oh,
That's
this
a
is the room
threat.
I was.
Yeah,
This is
and
the
you,
room I was trying to bust into.
yeah, and
earlier.
you see the private walks you over to the centermost room, and it's rather stately and purposefully put together. The lining of the walls seem to be military books and artifacts. The back has a fireplace and 4 massive locked chests, and in the center of the room is a large, very exquisitely made table. And on closer inspection, it seems to be a map of Greater Yorkit with pins and pieces of army figures and rope between things, very carefully placed all over. The sides of the table has crystals and tonics, kind of all very specifically placed. Behind the large table is 4 people, all standing in heavily decorated red United Shard uniforms, and they stand quietly at attention as the 4 of you approach them, and it's kind of a long walk from the door to where you guys go, and very specifically placed are 6 chairs, and the private kind of leads you to the chairs to stand in front of, behind for the pieces. Opposite the table, there's 6 chairs, meticulously spaced, equidistant from each other. They're fine leather, linen, and wood construction. Truly, someone at the top of their craft made these. The soldier who's been escorting you looks up at the 4 of them and timidly points towards the seats. And the man standing in the center of the table goes, Private Simmons, is it? He goes, yes, sir, in like an unsteady breath. Good job. Dismissed. He quickly nods and nervously walks out of the room. He goes, jittery that one is, and gives a little chuckle. Well, and you guys, this is a pretty intimidating situation you kind of find yourself in, just like purposefully placed and opposite from each other. Well, I suppose I should introduce ourselves, if you don't already know who we are. To my left is General John Harper. He is the general of the frontiersmen. He gives it like a stoic nod. He's an older gentleman, late 50s, built well. He kind of stands there strongly. To the far right is General Camelia de Leon, Fleet Admiral of the Navy, and she gives a little curtsy bow. She's a wood elf, and quite charming one too. She is well advanced in her age for a full elf, though she seems quite a bit more regal than the other ones here. She has a naval red coat and a tri-point hat and a rapier to her side. He goes, next to her is General T.J. Beauregard. And you see he just kind of like nods his head, in like disapproval, like side to side. It's odd, but he's an older dwarf, white-haired, but he's built like one at his physical peak in his 20s. He wears full plate armor, even indoors, and has his warhammer and shield kind of on his sides. And finally, the gentleman in the center goes, my name is General Joseph Kavanaugh, General and Commander of the Armed Forces of the United Shard. He's a little past middle age. He's a half-elf with strong features, dressed in a clean, well-fitted, well-decorated red military uniform. And at this point, you guys, I mean, y'all know those terms. Like, the military, right, there's the person in charge, and then there's three branches. There's the Army, the Navy, and the Frontiersmen, which is like a group of the interior, kind of like a National Guard. They keep peace within the borders, and these are their leaders. So, presumably, you're all a little freaked that the four most powerful people in this country right now have called the six of you after what's happened.
Scarlett's gonna be like, is this because we blew up those dummies in training?
I repaired the dummies. I fixed them.
We fixed the dummies like they told us to.
Yeah,
I think
But
we're
I did
clear
burn
on
them
that.
up.
No, it doesn't count. They're fixed.
Now.
The instructions.
I heard about the dummies. You did spectacular. And so he goes, look,
Nice.
and he goes and walks around, and he goes, he walks and shakes each of your hands individually. It's a warm, firm handshake, and he gives a polite smile as he does so.
Oh my.
And so he goes and shakes each of your hands. Then he walks back to the table, where he grabs a stack of paperwork.
Scarlett's hands were sweaty when he shook her
Oh,
hand.
for sure. His was dry and warm and polite. He has a kind of a warming presence. He's obviously trying to like, no, it's fine. Like this is good. Like, you know, calming you guys down. And so back in episode 1, whoever passed the perception check to see him, now you recognize like, oh yeah, this was him. He was there. I think only like 2 of y'all had originally passed that, but he says, I had the pleasure of watching you guys at Sacha's Keep, and I believe the 6 of you are exactly what we are looking for in a special mission. This will be your assignment from me personally. And he hands each of you a stack of papers in an envelope, which on the outside, stamped in red letters, says Top Secret, Classified. And I think we're going to take a quick tavern break with that before we go into the next part.
Yay!
It's not going to be too long, but everybody's going to go grab another drink, break the seal, and we'll be back with the what is Operation Rougarou. Find out here in a bit.
Whoop whoop.
Did you guys know that daffodils
Wow.
represent...
Wow.
Yeah.
Just taking my joke and saying it louder.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Right
This
before,
bitch.
literally right before I hit
I don't know-
play,
I don't know if
Connor
I've
goes,
heard
"Did you know that daffodils represent new beginnings?" And everybody goes, "Oh, that's really sweet and clever. I'm glad you did that." I hit play and steal it from them. That's just I'm just
Just like
taking.
you stole my Tron Legacy scoreboard, you motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm just taking a down deposit before all the pain you give back to me. So, all right.
Interest.
No, we're gonna be the bottomless chest gang. Is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna carry around one of these chests and do tricks with them.
Put him in the chest.
Put them in the chest.
Ooh, I forgot
Just
to
make
put
me
something in.
carry the damn chest. Just make me.
Reminds me of
Exactly. Like
that
a
just reminds me of the
chest
boo box on Hook.
I forgot one thing. Y'all vamp for like
That made me
30
wanna
more
have
seconds.
That made me want to have a pet mimic.
Oh no.
How fucking
sh-
insane. How dope would it be to have a ranger with a pet mimic?
That would be
No, it-
super
I
sick.
feel like lots of bad
Bonus
things
points,
would
they
happen.
mimic an arrow, and so when you shoot it, it just transforms into something else and attacks.
All right,
I feel
all
like
right.
lots of bad things would happen.
I am now ready. So yeah, the General Kavanaugh goes. I had the pleasure of watching you guys at Sanchez Keep. And I believe the 6 of you are exactly what we're looking for in a special mission. This will be your assignment from me personally, and he walks around and hands each of you a stack of papers in an envelope, which on the outside has stamped in all caps, red letters, bold, underlined, top secret, classified, and all the other generals grab their own copies of the paperwork.
Am I allowed to have this?
Scarlett's eyebrows go way up. She's like, us? She's,
He
like,
goes,
looking around.
absolutely. In fact, I would like for us all to read it together. And players IRL on Discord, I am posting a link to World Anvil. This is the paperwork.
Daffodil is on Vendor's top 10 favorite words list.
What if I
So
can't
is
read?
shiny.
Well,
Yep.
I will say,
Trumpet.
he goes, you absolutely are to read this. Let's all read together. Let's not jump ahead in questions. I'd like to go through this completely. And you open the envelope and pull out the paperwork just a little bit, and in top bold letters says Operation Rougarou. I would like everybody to roll a. I should have pulled up a thing. There's not culture in D&D. Is history the
History?
Yeah, let's just do a history check. Should have pulled it.
Another one.
Nope.
Let me know if anybody gets above like a 16.
I did.
Oh, I did. I got a 19. Even I actually rolled a 20 and then got that -1.
Nice.
Ugh.
Yeah, so, Emily, you know that Rougarous are a Boleth Glade legend, and they're effectively swamp werewolves. Charles, you know quite a bit more. I'm not going to spell it out here, but when it all comes up, you'll know it. But you know quite a bit about these things, because you're from the Capital Shard, which is bordering. We'll pull up the map.
Okay.
You're from the Capital Shard, this red shard that borders Boleth Glade, so you've heard the legends. They've come through. It goes, now let's all read this together and make sure we're on the same page. So yeah, it says Operation Rougarou. In fact, I'm going to post this in chat as well. If anybody's watching the YouTube bot, I please encourage you to go to World Anvil. I have the links in the description of Twitch and everywhere else. The exact paperwork we're looking at is called Operation Rougarou Docket. You can find it on there word for word. Great resource. And so he goes, okay, let's go through. First up is goal. It's to establish a new branch of the military to research factions of unknown entities of Rougeford and to provide stability to military operations. Our reasoning is, after the actions taken by the exiled outlaws during the Third Massacre of the Mines on November 27th, 764, it was proven that a vulnerability exists within the military from internal actors on the low magic crystal production, in addition to the external actors in which the war is being fought. That disaster was mitigated by the Black Iron Bandits, but the military believes it should take a proactive approach in finding and eliminating these internal actors. A similar operation has been put in place near both low magic crystal mines. And so he goes, now, as you know, the military is split into 3 distinct branches. We have the Army as a foreign ground-based force. And he points to General Beauregard. He goes, the Navy, which is our sea-based force, and points to Admiral Fleet de Leon. And finally, we have the Frontiersmen, and points to General Harper, who is the Internal National Guard and Keeper of the Peace. So in short, we will be setting up the 6 of you in a new independent branch of the military to do some research for us. The details are explained in a little bit. And General Beauregard interjects. He goes, General, first, this is a waste of our time. We need to be fighting this war. Second, these are some sorry sacks of shit, and I can't imagine you could scum up any worse soldiers if you tried. General Harper goes, look, I agree. These guys don't look like they're cut out for much of anything right now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading it wrong. General Harper, the frontiersman general, says, look, I agree these guys don't look like they're cut out for much of anything. Plus, shouldn't this go under the jurisdiction of my frontiersmen? General Kavanaugh goes, now, I have my reasons for what I am doing. Normally, this would be a frontiersman task, but think of it like a police department. The frontiersmen are the bulk of the police work, first responders and strong. this is going to be more like the detective agency. And we're just setting these guys up in Rougeford for the time being. And then General De Leon speaks up and goes, I do see the use, but I can't help but believe these new recruits can possibly be the best ones for the job. I can offer up some higher-ranked naval officers for this. General Kavanaugh says, I have spent quite a lot of time thinking about this, and I've come to the decision that these 6 will be perfect for the job. Are they strong? No, not whatsoever. I think we can all agree there. However, if it gives any of the 3 of you a peace of mind, it also means that if anything goes wrong, it will be easy to erase my mistake. Now what?
Brand.
Are we expendable?
KK shifts in her seat.
Does anybody say anything specifically, or do y'all just...
Brand looks over at his group and, like, with a what the fuck look on his face, and, like, looks for everybody's reactions.
Hey, I'm gonna look at Brand and I'm gonna mouth, are we expendable? I'm just
he
gonna mouth it.
gives a chuckle. He goes, now, don't worry. This is only if
Don't
you go...
worry?
That seems...
You just said that we could die and it would be cool with you.
No,
I mean,
I said
it
if
is
you
the
guys
army.
went against the army, we could erase you. Just do your job.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. Honestly,
I mean, that was the rule regardless, huh?
she's shaking her
Would
head.
Would you guys feel any more comfortable on the front lines, where people are dying? Look, I'm just giving it as a reassurance to them. I assure you, I will have nothing in your path I hope to hurt you with. And he goes, plus, as these 6 grow into their positions, we can put them on the fast track to promotion, so they can each grow quite powerful in their role. Plus, they all have a unique combination of skills collectively. They all have different strengths and weaknesses, and I think they can cover each other well. I've even read about that teamwork and resourcefulness when it came to Sergeant Drake's Soleil and Ray's training with the dummies. You guys...
Slay and rage.
Bravo!
That's what you call it.
Rage-fueled teamwork.
Yeah. He goes, bravo. Without prompt, you came together and used each other's strengths to excel at a task that would be insurmountable individually. And you cared for each other and looked at each other in the process. That kind of teamwork is hard to drill into soldiers. You guys seem to have a little bit of chemistry there. General Harper goes, well, surely if we intend on having people do reconnaissance in Rougeford, it'd be wise to have people native to the city and have some previous knowledge do it. Or am I insane here? And General De Leon goes, no, I agree. This doesn't seem to be optimal. And Kavanaugh goes, see, I disagree. None of these people are from here. In fact, they're all from a different shard. As far as I have reason to believe, none of them have ever visited Rougeford before. They all come from very different places and walks of life. This means their scope of world and experience together much more vast than even mine. He goes, plus, I think this inexperience within the city will be perfect for what we need them to do. There'll be fresh faces to all the citizens as well. They can carve out their own path without any preconceptions of them. They could be a ghost, or they could be a spirit of the people. They could be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And I think that flexibility is a key, and you can tell he's getting excited and passionate about this plan. And General Beauregard says, well, I still think you're making a mistake here, General. And Kavanaugh goes, well, you are entitled to your own opinion. However, I am in charge of this mission, and I outrank you. And he gives a cheeky smile to you guys.
Damn.
KK gives him a thumbs up.
Oh, shit.
And so General Beauregard then sits in a seat as everybody on the other side of the table. Now, if I have all of your issues settled for the time being, generals, I will continue with the mission briefing. And they all just nod their heads and open up their packets. This goes, okay. Actions. In this docket, will be listed entities that will need to be investigated. After it is believed that a thorough enough investigation has taken place by superiors, a report will need to be given back to the appropriate personnel listed in the following. Yeah, so he kind of goes like, so basically what we're doing, like I said, is we are having you guys do investigation on entities within Rougeford. And you're going to give us a report, and if we find it sufficient, you'll go on to the next one. But in each report, we need to know, one, if they are of any immediate or long-term danger to military operations, and if so, what? And two, how the entities listed below perceive the war and their opinions of low magic crystals. In addition, you guys may be drafted into any of these three generals' operations as they see fit. Soldiers are slim. You might just have to be flexed in. But the 6 of you will report directly to me in matters regarding Operation Rougarou. But initially, you're going to act as a branch of the army and report to the General of the Army, General Beauregard, to keep appearances until we find it no longer deemed necessary. We do want to keep you kind of on the down low to start with. So we'll make it look as though you report to General T.J. Beauregard. When each report is formally presented, the individuals involved will be placed on the advanced promotion track and given all appropriate trainings and materials. Individuals are urged not to use lethal force unless absolutely required. If possible, they should arrest with non-deadly force and bring suspects back to Ballithglade Penitentiary for any future questioning. What I do not want to happen is to have a mobile death force in the city. That cannot be good for the city, for the war. You are soldiers, and I expect you to act with grace. You know, if you take someone down, do it lethally, cuff them, bring them to prison, and then we can get more out of them. Capiche?
Scarlet nods.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. It is to the discretion of the individuals involved with Operation Rue as to how undercover they wish to remain as the operation continues. It's up to you guys if you want to wear your uniform or casual clothing that you brought with you, or present your badges. However, we do urge you to think of the consequences when deciding, as they may be lasting. This also means that you should generally follow the laws of the land here, as well as the law of church and public appeals. For example, do not mess with the dead in any way, as that is a main teaching of Pelor, and the populace would revolt, for example. So, don't kill people, don't just break laws, don't cause a huge riot, but otherwise it's really up to you to decide how you want to go about these investigations. Alright, so as far as the initial personnel involved, you have myself, Joseph Cavanaugh, General of the Armed Forces, T.J. Beauregard, General of the Army, Camelia de Leon, Fleet Admiral of the Navy, John Harper, the General of the Frontiersmen, Virginia DuPont, who is a captain, which we will meet later, and then the 6 of you, Brand, Tato Wildheart, Chris Keaton, Yaros Lubert, Scarlet Nichols, Vayanatar Lero, all enlistees. So we do have some knowns and unknowns. The known, Rougeford. The city is the current center for low magic crystal production, innovation, and distribution in the known world. This means a lot of powerful people from all over have gathered here during this revolution. This is the reason the military needs to keep tabs on everybody. The city contains 9 districts, and we'll give you a local brochure provided with this docket with a little bit more information. We'll go over that in a bit. And then we know about these factions. The military believes it has sufficient control over each of its 3 branches. We believe that we have a pretty good grasp on the politics and government of the city, shard, and nation. We also think we have a pretty good watch over the low magic crystal factories, the railroads, and the couriers. Most of them are either our guys, or we're directly seeing them every day. They're not the ones we're worried about. But there are 13 known factions within the city of Rougeford the military does not believe it has sufficient watch and control over, and they are listed here in addition to a perceived threat level. DEFCON 1, the Guild of Plenty. They're comprised of 4 sub-factions. The Restaurant Cooperative, which is a group of the biggest restaurants in the city, but they do provide and work with us to come up with new recipes and ways to preserve food for the soldiers, so they do provide an important role. There is the Alcohol Brotherhood, which is effectively the same for beer and wine and distilleries. There's the distributors, which basically they pack it all up and distribute it. And then finally the conservationists. who they believe it's their duty to preserve the wilds of Balaclade, so that there will be a future of flora and fauna for everybody. So collectively, they're known as the Guild of Plenty. And so, for example, it's probably a wise one to start with. We'd like you guys to go talk to each of them individually, come back with a report. Now, this may mean that you need to do some quests or help them out in some way. You want to gain their trust and get a true, candid conversation out of them. And when we believe you've done so, we'll get you on that fast track to promotion. The next threat level, DEFCON 2, they have the Brain Trust, which is
Brain Trust.
Yeah, they're like two loose groups of people. There's the Barbers, who's a group of barbers by day mostly, and but doctors by night. They kind of independently research ways for non-clerics and druids to heal each other through science. And we think that they're going to be a very important role in the army and militaries coming up. There's only so many healers and druids, and it takes so long to train and learn their magics, that if we could use low magic crystals and other ways to heal mobily, I mean, that's just as important as the war-based magic, artillery-based ones. The second is the Tinkerers, and they're a loose group of people who use the low magic crystals. They're, I believe, artificers is kind of what they like to be called nowadays, but they get these crystals and come up with new inventions, and the ones who find good success often get recruited by the military or the low magic manufacturers. So they're kind of like they're a little group of people who work together, but ultimately their goal is to get bought out. The next level that we believe of the perceived threats are the Lock Masons. They're a group formed originally within the outside powers. Their goal is to create the world's greatest building wonders. The local branch has gained renown by building massive structures using low magic crystals and fused materials to keep these large buildings from sinking into the marshlands. Just like the building we're in. They built this one, and that's why we're not 10 feet under the ground. Next is the Arts. They're comprised of two sub-factions. There's the School of Hard Knocks, quite a clever name there. They're a loosely formed group of individuals within quarters that teach each other the ways of low magic through music. And then opposite of them is the Conservatory of the Arts, which is a top music school that teaches classically trained high magic music. There's also Nature's Trinity, which is a series of 3 greenhouses and groups of people within the city. First is Biori's greenhouse. Its workers and keepers primarily focus on food production, crop experimentation, ways to feed the populace. They work well with us. We get a lot of food and techniques from them. And they also work with the Guild of Plenty. Next is Alona's Nursery. This is a greenhouse, and its keepers work primarily on the effects of healing and enhancements of individuals. They work well with the military to produce potions of healing. And then finally is Obadai's Arbitorium. They work on conservation of plants and fighting for the rights of nature. So those are the first 3 difficulty perceived threat levels. Do you have any questions about any of those guys?
I just want to know what the difference is between the music, low magic music, and high magic music, in the sense of what is the difference? I mean, and how is it so different?
So, right, there's low magic that uses the magic of the world around them and uses some energy, and it's quite a little bit easier to learn. And then you have, high magic, which is you have to go through years of study. So one's classically trained orchestras and choruses and operas, and the other one is more folksy music, things you'd learn out on your family's farm. They have jazz and blues and folk music, and they both can basically do the same thing, just like either form of magic, but they kind of go about it a little bit in a different way.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking they're swallowing jewels and singing and serenading things and changing people into magical musicians.
No. They're colloquially bards, you could say.
Okay.
All right. Well, the 4th level of perceived threat is the Underbelly. We believe that there is a thieves' guild in place within the borders of Rougeford. There's yet to be any concrete proof, but the anecdotal proof is strong enough that we believe that it's an absolute. In addition, there's rumors of a black market that's avoiding taxation and bringing in illegal goods. Next is Heroes and Heralds. This is a long-standing guild, as old as Greater Yorkett. They pride themselves in taking powerful warriors and training them to their maximum potential. They have provided many great warriors that have excelled in the face of the war and continue to recruit and provide warriors to the military to this day. There's also Leisure Levy. It's the newest part of the city. There's two big buildings over there. There's Madame and Monsieur's, which is a brothel, which many believe has powerful magics within the place. People are often not themselves when within, but also can't express how or why. We encourage all members of the military to generally avoid. What were you saying?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yep. Carry on.
Yeah, if I have anything, just let me know. The next one is Raleigh Shaw's. It's the casino located within Rougeford. So it's the recent addition. It's quickly become one of its most powerful entities, as places with money often do. Very little is known. And finally, the absolute most powerful groups within the city is the Church of Pelor. They have the most followers, contain vast amounts of wealth, most powerful clergy members. Many of our own residences are members of the church, and they do occasionally provide clerics and paladins for the war effort, but on a healing capacity only. And then we have Macabre University. It's the leading wizards college within Greater Yorkett. The recruits are the brightest and best from all corners, and they have incredibly powerful alumni wizards. They provide study for all 6 colleges of magic, and higher members within the schools are themselves incredibly powerful. Yes.
So we're gonna investigate Macabre University.
So, right, what we want to know is, 1, are they a threat to the military? And if so, how? And 2, we want to generally know what they think about the low magic crystals. What we're trying to do is avoid having an internal group of people go into a mine, murder everybody, and set the war back 10 years.
Yeah.
So, what we would like you guys to do is get good on their insides, help them out, have candid conversations with the people in charge, and just let us know if we should be worried about them or where they generally stand.
Okay, because I was actually about to ask that, because I am definitely always wanted to join the Heroes and Heralds Guild.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it might be a great opportunity for you guys, next time they have an opening, to join and get on their insides and help them out on a few things and really get to know them.
So we're really spies then, huh?
We're totally the moles. We're
The,
totally the
We're
moles.
moles.
The
I think,
detective
police
agency
might be.
analogy earlier I thought was pretty apt.
What's up the city druids? Where are they?
They are all located within the Nature's Trinity, the 3 greenhouses that, generally druids don't like cities, just by principle. But we do have some here that are very extreme in their research and very particular what they're looking for. The 3 of them are quite different in what they're trying to do, but they all come together. But that's generally where most of the druids stay.
I see.
But there's also druid tribes outside the cities, and they're around like they are anywhere else.
Like in the swamps that we passed.
There's not a whole lot of them, but there's a couple. The swamps are kind of rough place to live. Well, before I move on, do y'all have any other further questions about these factions?
So this next one is the unknown.
Correct. So those were what we do know. These are things that we don't know. And here comes the titular Rougarous. There are legends older than the land itself that tell of a creature known as the Rougarou. The creature is said to be a large, bipedal, canine-like creature that lives within the swamps of Falleth Glade. The belief is that it emerges on nights with a full moon and has immense strength, speed, and bloodlust. In modern day, parents use it to scare their disobedient kids and say they do not follow their words or the words of Pelor, that the Rougarou, sent by Aerith Knoll himself, will be hunted down and kill them in their sleep.
Jesus.
Yeah, old fairy tales tend to be brutal sometimes. However,
No, I mean I've heard of them.
However, the more traditional folklore, and this is the part that Charles you would already know, but Emily wouldn't.
Okay.
Says that it's a curse originally placed by a witch that lasts for 101 days. Anyone attacked by the Rougarous will then also be bestowed the curse. However, you yourself will not transform unless you let someone know that you bore witness to the creature. For unknown reasons, the populace of Rougeford has begun to believe that there are Rougarous located in the swamps around the city. And it says, on this report it says unknown, but people just keep saying they're saying it. We had even people in the military out on perimeter saying they're seeing these things. And they've been countless recorded, but especially in the last few weeks, even on non-full moon nights. So part of this assignment is to research these Rougarous, identify if they're a threat, and if needed, take them out. The military cannot take the risk of powerful entities so close to this war effort.
Would it not be smarter to also research this and maybe if there's the witch, destroy the witch itself so the Rougarou problem dissipates itself?
Well, so the next part's about the Whistlemarsh Hag. There's an even older legend of this land, and you just wouldn't know this since you're not directly from here. That of the Whistlemarsh Hag. She is known well by the people of Rougeford for existing since time immemorial. Stories tell where she goes is marked by the whistle of the wind in a tritone, as Pelor himself warns of her arrival. Her wants and desires are unknown. Her actions are erratic and irregular by all known stories. Her stated powers consist of all the schools of magic and spells even yet created. She's said to be the witch that originally bestowed the Rougarou curse, amongst many others, but the hag is consistently stayed a force of evil and chaos. Some religious even believe that Aerith Knoll himself placed her upon the earth in which she walks. Sightings are very few, very far between for this individual. However, if locals believe in the legends of the Rougarou, they know the Whistlemarsh Hag is real. They feel it. She is to be treated as a highly dangerous entity, and any sightings of her reported straight back to the General of the Armed Forces, myself, for further instructions. Individuals are not to engage. The information is too important not to bring back and analyze. During this operation, the military hopes to further understand if the Whistlemarsh Hag is real, what her ambitions are, and take her out if needed. The threat of the entity this close to our war efforts, once again, is too important to ignore, even if she does not make her presence known otherwise. So, we have these factions we like to investigate, and if you find out anything else about the Rougarous or the Hag, you gotta let us know too. Any questions about those two?
No. Seems pretty straightforward. Kill the beast. Kill the woman making the beast.
Well,
Make
if
sure
you
no-
see her, you let us know first, because she's as
I
powerful
mean,
as she
not
is.
kill the beast, 'cause it's
She'll
still- I mean,
kill you
not
on
kill it.
sight, and we won't know nothing.
Yeah. Report. I mean, not kill.
Beast are
Report.
alive.
Yeah. The following materials will be provided to you. You have your standard issue military weapons, standard issue military kit of your choosing, standard issue red military uniform of the United Shard. You will be receiving a low magic crystal badge showing of your protected status. It can turn invisible. It has some neat things. Works as a messenger for us. You're going to get some manacles. You are getting a formal map of Rougeford and the Greater Yorkit. No, that's not in there anymore. I'm taking that out. I need to change that. You're going to get, of course, rations that you can carry, and you have full access to the mess hall. Which out of character means that as long as you are within the borders of the city for a certain amount of time, you just don't got to worry about eating. There's food there. If you are camping out for days or travel elsewhere, you might have to consider it, but otherwise, we're just going to ignore that. You get a personal calendar and a official Rougeford brochure. Additional equipment and support can be requested by submitting an expense report form to be approved by the appropriate superior. The expense report must specify the exact item being requested and what they will be used for. The regular wages of the military United Shard will be given. Ranks will be based off the army. So if you guys, there's a hyperlink there called the Military of the United Shard. If you click that, there is the current structure of the military. There's 12 ranks. The wages are paid weekly on Sundays, and as long as you're within the city, you'll be getting that. You are in the military, you are getting paid. So the wage is going to start off at 10 gold per week.
Nice.
You get a Rougeford brochure, which I'm going to pass a link to. I'm not going to go over this, but for everybody watching on YouTube and Twitch, the link will have, if you go to World Anvil and look up Rougeford brochure, it has the 9 districts of the city, and it has listed every known effective building in each of the districts. We'll be doing something else within the session today, so I'm not going to go over that here. But he does show it to you and says, basically, this is everything worth note of the city. He goes, well, it seems that everything here has been listed out rather well. I think I've answered all questions that you may have had. But it does seem, and you can see he gets a little cheeky, as though I forgot to name this new branch. And he kind of smiles at you guys. How about you guys think on it and tell me what you'd like to be named?
Wait, we have to think of a name?
Oh, right now?
No, you take your time. Just let me know.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I want to make pressure.
The 6 of
I mean,
you,
we're the molds, right,
yeah,
guys?
the 6 of you kind of get together and decide what you... It does need to be like a professional name for a whole branch of the military, but I'll let you guys decide.
Yeah. Of course.
And he kind of just smiles and waves it off. Well, in this case, please head back to your quarters. Private Simmons should be done moving in your equipment by now, and you should be able to find it all placed within the chest by your bed in your room. Feel free to use this as your personal storage, and we'll see that it remains safe. And so, me, Tyler, the DM of this world, I am telling you that that anything put in that chest is safe. I'm not going to fuck with it ever. We are using encumbrance in this game, so you'll have to keep... your D&D Beyond sheet will just tell you if you're over encumbered, but that chest is the safe way to put things, and I'm not going to fuck with it. So
I don't trust the chest.
okay,
Don't trust that chest. Do not trust that fucking
but
chest.
because we're using encumbrance, and it's not something we usually use, I'm putting these chests as a place to put it. I just don't want everybody carrying over 900 longswords.
Right.
Trying to ground the game.
Bag of holding.
And he goes, so,
That bro.
bro, you
Wait,
need to stop.
wait.
So please do put on some civilian clothes, and how about you guys meet me by the front entrance at 1200 hours? Dismissed.
Okay.
And so he says dismissed, and you see Private Simmons open the doors and goes, yes, back this way. I'll bring you back to your quarters.
1200 hours seems like a very long time from now.
Right now, it's probably like 11 o'clock. Because y'all got here in the morning, and y'all waited in the rooms for a while. And...
Vay doesn't know what a clock is.
Oh, yeah, time is just a...
Sundial?
Scarlet will explain military time.
Time is a flat circle, yeah. You go to your footlockers, and you open up, and your stuff's there.
Nice.
You see, you see your plethora of goods. You see standard issue military kit, weapons and kits. So you now formally have these on your equipment sheet from your starting equipment. Whatever you had, you just now have. You have a standard issue, standard issue red military of the United Shard, in which I would like you to add to your inventory, your uniform, as well as a casual set of clothes you brought. Both sets of...
Wait. Slow down.
How do you do that with the inventory in D&D Beyond?
You click on inventory, scroll down to backpack, and you can add items to your backpack, or you can manage inventory. Yeah.
You can create custom items.
Oh, you can. Okay, cool.
Thank you guys. I didn't have to even do beyond that. Yeah, so you have your standard issue red military uniform of the United Shard. You also, I would like you to have specifically a set of casual clothes that you brought with you. Both sets of clothes will fit over your armor, so unless you specifically say you take off your armor, we won't have to worry about that. And the uniforms all fit really well. They look good on you. I would like you to add a military badge to your inventory. It kind of looks like a police badge with a very small low magic crystal kind of embedded in it. On the face, it shows that you are a direct officer of the United States military. And I think Brand's the first one to pick this up. but if you double tap it, it turns invisible.
The badge.
The badge, yeah, you can hide it from people. And if you double tap it again, it reveals itself.
How much would the badge and the uniform weigh?
They won't.
Okay.
Yeah, everything I'm gonna list will just have 0 weight.
Okay.
They collectively have some, but I'm not that worried about it.
Right.
So yeah, to double tap it to turn invisible, and it also, they said, works specifically as a one-way pager for the military to reach you. And I didn't explicitly say it, but if basically they page you, you're to report to the front of Fort Marshope immediately. It's just like a small magic buzz, and if you get buzzed, you gotta go to the fort. But it's just one way.
I love pagers.
Yeah. Next, I would like you to add a set of regular manacles to your inventory. Everybody gets one. You do specifically remember that they said when possible, use non-lethal force, bring them back to the jail for questioning. They don't want the optics of the military to be a murder force. You each get a map of Greater Yorkett and a map of Greater Rougeford to your inventory. So one for the city, one for the country. Those are the exact maps that you have on World Anvil. You get a calendar to your inventory. It's a small pocket one, but it's the exact calendar in World Anvil. And so yeah, you all presumably get into your civilian clothes to meet General Kavanaugh. And I would like each of you to describe what you look like, or like what you each brought one outfit you're allowed to bring with you. So what does that outfit look like on you? And I got feedback that I think some people were confused about your races. And kind of exactly what you look like from the last session. So if you could kind of go over that a little bit as well. Let us start with the player in the game closest to me. Brand, what does Brand look like in his one set of clothes he got?
Yeah, so Brand is a fire Genasi, and Genasi are, like, elemental people. So I have, like, I'm red-skinned, and I've got, like, a flaming head instead of hair. And Brand is wearing his traditional desert garb, so, you know, like sort of a long tarpish robe, and he's also wearing like a protective, like, toxin mask, it looks like, with got filters all over it. That seems a bit out of place with the rest of his outfit, I think. Looks a little more technological and designed. But that's it. That's all he's wearing.
Yaros, you're next on my screen.
Alrighty. So Yaros is a shifter, which is kind of like how half-elves have human and elf characteristics. Shifters kind of have human and animalistic characteristics. He is his clothes set that he brought is kind of just like some brown pants with some well-worn leather boots and just like a simple tunic, probably like a slightly off-white, kind of darker color.
Nice. Next, I have KK.
KK is a human. She's got kind of darker skin, white hair. It's cut short. But it stays pretty messy, and she's got a pair of red earrings in her casual. The clothes that she brought with her are basically just like a pair of boots and shorts, and this sort of it could almost be mistaken for a military poncho, but it's like a poncho jacket.
Yeah, and I will say, like, you'll get plenty of chances to buy new clothes, but this is like what was the one outfit that you brought with you? Next, I have Wildheart. What's your first name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking. I gotta do your last name.
Yeah.
Tatho. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yes, there you go. So, I'm a Leonin. Very big in stature. I forgot my exact measurements at this time, but I'll be able to get that to you in a minute. He has black hair. His mane is black, if you know anything about lions.
Yeah, so Leonins are like a lion people.
Mm-hmm. If you know anything about lions, Don't let the Lion King fool you. Scar should have been the more dominant one because he had a black mane instead. But don't let the Lion King fool you. But other than that, his middle of his mane does have locks or whatever, but the rest of his hair is just free flowing on the side. As far as his casual clothes, he has a sleeveless tunic and just regular some beat up kind of pants to the best he had. But I mean, like, you can tell there's been some wear and tear on them, you know, and his shoes are, you know, I guess regular old boots, you know, nothing too fancy with it.
Okay, great. Next I have.
And the shirt's red. The shirt's red in particular.
Okay. Next I have Bayani Tara.
Yeah. So Vi will. She is a Kalashtar, which is essentially a special. Oh, my mic just fell over. Oh god.
Oh god. Oh geez. Oh gosh.
jeez. Oh,
Everyone
God.
panic.
No,
Oh,
no,
my
no, no,
God.
no.
No.
I'm scared.
my
I'm going
dead.
home.
This mic arm sucks. She is a Kalashtar, which is essentially a fucking Jesus Christ.
She's a fucking Jesus Christ. That's wild, bro.
She is essentially a special kind of subspecies of human. So she looks like a human with black hair, purplish blue eyes. Her clothes are very Terran, earthy, a black feather and tan skin tunic with grayish brown slats. Only real splash of color is a slightly off bluish purple sash that's used kind of like tied around the waist like a belt, and plain leather shoes.
Nice. And then last but not least, I have Scarlet.
So Scarlet is a half wood elf, half human girl. She is like, she's darker complexion. She has like a wood elf complexion with brown hair, like dark brown hair and brown eyes. She is wearing a school uniform, like an old beat up school uniform from Madame Ambergris' School of the Arcane. Their colors were like red. I'm just gonna say their color was red. They have one color, it was red.
Yeah, red's like a popular like color for the people like west of the Divid Mountains. Like it's kind of that was definitely like enough people used red and kind of was the color of the land that they chose that for the military.
Yeah. And yeah, I think so one thing that that I said in my intro before is that like when the sort of like sun hits Scarlet, or when she's outside or when she's excited, her complexion, her hair, her eyes will seem to change colors. But yeah, that's what she looks like.
So, presuming that you all follow instructions, you guys head to the front, all in your casual clothes. Let me poof you.
Casual.
Yeah, keeping it cash. There we go. Yeah, you look at the statues for a little bit, and you see that they have the three here that are for three branches of government, and then it notes that on the other side there's an identical three statues that are for each branch of the military. Since this is a central government building, it's both. It's kind of like it's the fort, but it's also the mayor's office, and it's also the Shard's government. You know, because it's the biggest place within the Shard. But as you kind of look at that, having some general conversations, you see General Kavanaugh walk up, also in civilian clothes. He has on a sharp suit. It's clean, well fitted. He goes, "Now, I figure the least I can do is walk you guys around town to get you familiar with the layout. The mayor of Rougeford will actually be joining us in just a second. However, I
Oh,
feel
wow.
it's important to let you know that he's mostly just a figurehead here. The previous mayor of the town was sent to the council in the country, to the council of the country in Rockvault, the capital, to be part of the national government. This guy is mostly just his puppet for the time being, but he gets things done, and he seems well liked by the people. He looks over to KK, who's trying to say something.
Isn't everybody going to recognize you two?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going
Yeah.
to go introduce you to everybody. We're just walking around town.
We won't draw attention, though. I'll be hanging out with you and the mayor.
Nah, we'll just walk through. There's we have some people we want to introduce you to, but we're gonna do that specifically.
Okay.
Around that time, you see a middle-aged gnome gentleman walk up. He's kind of out of shape. He goes, Kavanaugh goes, "Speak of the devil, if it isn't Mayor Thadewell Boffins." And the gnome kind of,
Mayor Botham.
yeah. The gnome walks up and it jumps, and they give each other a little quick friendly hug. He goes, "Nice to see you, General. You always seem so cooped up in Fort Marshope." He goes, "Well, as you can imagine, things are quite busy, with the whole war and everything." And they both kind of chuckle. And he goes, "Well, who do I have the pleasure of meeting here?" He goes, "These are some of the new recruits, but you have a very special job for me here in the city. Let's see to it that they get treated well." And he goes, "Well, surely anybody important to the general is important to me." And he goes around and kind of shakes all of your hands.
Scarlet smiles.
Yeah, and so General goes, "In fact, I was hoping you could give them kind of a high-level tour of the city. Some backgrounds, history, and whatnot." He goes, "Well, surely, I'm the best for the job. Let's start here. The city geography at large and Capital Row. Please do interrupt me if you have any questions." And so he gives you kind of a quick history of the city. It is the biggest city in the United Shard. It's surrounded entirely by the Balleth Glade swamps, which is what the Shard is named after. East of the city, they generally just shortcut it as the East Glades. West of the city, they call it the West Glades. There are other settlements within the Shard, but the swamps are generally impassable, and politically, it's basically just run by this one city. Running through the city is the Sawchest River, the most important river in the country, as all the tributaries from all the other shards basically drain directly into it and out the ocean. It makes it the biggest trading port town in all of Greater Yorkit. The river comes from the south in Lake Botham, and eventually to the capital of Rockvault and beyond. It keeps going north to the Red Delta and eventually to the Gulf of Azola. In fact, let me pull up the map. That would be wise. It's this river on the right-hand side. The city was originally colonized by the outside powers, but eventually independence was gained during the Battle of Rougeford. You see, the outside powers had an initial force that had the town had barely defeated. Their numbers were small, and they took on a big force, but afterwards they were minuscule, and resources were non-existent at that point. However, when the outside powers sent reinforcements, they arrived during the time of year where the entire delta was in a red algae bloom. And as they approached, they believed that they ran the river red with blood and retreated in fear and told their leaders what they saw. Eventually, this led to them surrendering and giving the people their independence. The city gets its name from that red algae, Rougeford, and every year the city celebrates a week-long red balloon festival. And he goes, "Yeah, you guys are just in time to see it. We'll have food and art and celebration everywhere. It's next week. People should be setting up for it now."
Very cool.
Yeah,
Do they have 99 red balloons?
Probably. So then he goes on. He goes,
Bad jokes. Bad jokes.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up a map of Rougeford. He goes, Capital Row here was originally the original location of the original settlers. Over time, it expanded, and this land became the place for kind of central government. Upon it is the Great Fort Marshope. It's the biggest and best, originally named as a kind of a portmanteau of being the Hope of the Marsh. Inside is all of the military actions, but it's also the city and Shard headquarters. My mayoral office is here, as well as St. Cuthbert's executive wing, Brow legislature, and the courthouse of Fultus. people headquarter here, as well as the penitentiary, and behind that is the military port and lighthouse. And if we take our way out this way, we'll head to the heights. So let's switch maps. So we're going to the orange shard. We're crossing that little red. And if you're looking at the map, this is a delta. So it takes a split in the river. The left split is like the main split. The right split is just part of the delta that's starting to go out. We're not going to go anywhere specific, but I'm going to teleport you guys in here for the map so you can experience.
Experience the magic.
Takes a second to eat everybody in here and invite. There we go. So yeah, he goes. This is the home of where the wealthy are here in Rougeford, as well as some accompanying businesses such as the Heights Hotel, Safeco Bank, and the Fitzsimmons Banquet Hall. These were the first expansions of the city long ago, and it was kind of somewhat ironically named because it's the highest part of town, though the elevation often isn't even double digits. Do you have any questions about this place? And you kind of see as you look through, like, it's a beautiful day above you. Skies are blue. There are two massive buildings in the back, and then in the front are kind of some shops, but behind those are like really, really big homes, like very wealthy homes.
Scarlet will point to the massive buildings, sort of, I guess like down this road from us, and she'll ask about those.
Yeah, so one of those is...
What are those?
One of those is the Heights Hotel. It's, if you come from out of town, it's probably where you're staying. And then the other one is Safeco Bank. It holds quite a lot of wealth within the city. And it's where we kind of keep our best treasures hidden.
So the one on the right is the hotel, and the one on the left is the bank?
Correct.
Very cool.
Well, if we continue on this path, we'll make our way to the next district. And we are going to be going to the Sunrise District, which on the map is yellow.
Oh.
Man, I just looked at those two buildings. The rest was just houses, right?
There's some shops in the front, but in the back were huge mansions, basically. And they are giving you like a high-level view of the thing. They're not. It's mostly just commentating. Like even y'all pointed out, like they're important people you're kind of walking with. They don't want to make a big scene.
Who are some of the important families around that live in this area? Because it looks like the important families live here.
As you're walking down, you go, yeah, I mean, the big one's the Fitzsimmons family. They're the ones who own the low magic crystal factory.
Wait.
Private Simmons?
The Simmons? Like private
Simmons?
Simmons?
No, Fitzsimmons.
Fitzsimmons.
Oh.
Just a coincidence.
Damn.
Yeah, no, you didn't. Let's be frank. If Fitzsimmons joined the military, they wouldn't be a private. But you'll see.
Buying my rank.
There's a few buildings prominent buildings that they own here, and if you're asking for a wealthy family like that, they're the one. So you make your way to here, and you see that it's there's a central park surrounded by massive buildings on each side. He goes, "This is the gem of the city, the Sunrise District. It's home to countless important things in the city. Making our way around is Bacab University, one of the finest wizarding educational facilities in the world. We have all six...
Scarlet pulls her hood up. Pulls it over her eyes.
Yeah, you would know off the top of your head that new students aren't to arrive for a while.
Cool.
They have all 6 colleges of magic and some of the best professors, if I do say so myself. So I'll go ahead. They also have Quartz Field. It's their stadium where they do a lot of their big showy things.
They have games? They have games there?
Yeah, they have the annual graduation games, which is where...
You got James on your map?
Yeah.
God damn it!
Yes, that's they put on a big show as the wizards graduate and kind of induct the new members of the next class. It's a pretty big festival around here. The next is Paylor's Cathedral. This is where it's a grand cathedral where many come to pay their respects. Next to them is the library and the Historical Museum of Ballthglade. Next to them is Nature's Trinity, which is a series of the three green houses. They each focus on something different. Next to that is the Fitzsimmons Zoo, where they have all kinds of interesting creatures.
There's a zoo?
Yeah, there's a zoo. We have all kinds of cool things over there.
What the fuck?
And then making our way...
The zoo is not someone we need to investigate.
No. You would remember that the general said that they generally believe they have the low magic crystal facility under wraps. And
the
so...
zoo is part of the low magic crystal facility?
Well, it's the same owner. The guy who owns that facility owns the zoo, and he owns a few things.
Convenient.
So, yeah, I mean, rich people, am I right?
Rich people owning zoos just because they can.
I mean,
Got a
menageries...
tiger in my backyard, baby. What you expect?
We're gonna be Tiger King, guys.
Brand is just Tiger
That's
King.
the boss fight.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so finally he goes, and then here's the Rougeford Conservatory of the Arts, and in the center of everything is Willow Park. It's one of the most popular places to come hang out.
Not the zoo?
Well, I mean, there's an entrance fee to the zoo. The park's free.
Is this
Oh,
like
that's
fun
true.
hangout, or the place where you start having fun and then the police show up to break up the party?
Well, I personally wouldn't consider that fun. I mean, college students come out here and they'll put out blankets and have picnics and read their books, and it's just a nice place.
I am very much out of my element.
This is all very fancy and very overwhelming for Scarlet.
Yeah,
Faye is
so,
just trying to
I'd
take
say
a very
but like good.
deep breath.
yeah, no, I mean,
the
this is
park.
true for all of y'all. Like, these are insane buildings that you have never witnessed. Like, Tatho's come the closest, but even these buildings tower in comparison to what he had back in the capital.
Yeah.
And so, if you got where I placed you guys kind of in a line with Scarlet in the front and Yaris in the back, if you go towards Scarlet, that way is where you came from to the Heights, because all these places are connected. He says, if you go which would be 90 degrees left from Scarlet, away from opposite the park, he goes, that's where you would make your way to Riverfront, but we're actually going to go this way, which is Yaris' side, and we're going to head to Midtown.
Midtown girl.
Load me
You're
in,
living
bro.
in the right world.
Drop me in, coach.
It takes me a while to do so. So we're heading to Midtown, which is the dark green district on the map. There we go. Right, here's... he goes, this is Midtown. It's home to a large bulk of the housing within the city, and it's a quiet place. It has some schools and a few businesses, but it's a nice place to settle down. Other than that, there's not, it's a quaint place. There's not a whole lot to this one. We do have the cemetery over to the side, where people can pay their respects. But it's mostly all there is to Midtown. So without if nobody kind of prompts them, they'll go, well, if you keep heading this way, we'll make our way to the docks. And as you get closer, you actually start to hear the sounds of the men working, and the smell of raw fish kind of hits you.
So Midtown. Oh, there's this big old graveyard in Midtown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like the middle class places. There's a few businesses here, some mom and pop shops, there's some inns. There is the big cemetery. This is where the school's at. But this is basically the middle class.
So this is a different school, or is this where?
This is at like a primary education school.
Okay.
There's,
and is that that's the square kind of building?
yeah, the one that kind of looks like a castle.
KK's gonna go stare at the fire
Alright, the
at
next
the nearby blacksmith.
Just stare into the
Classic.
flames.
the next one we're going to is Bloom Wharf, which is the lime green.
I like that there's some pumpkins in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Like someone was just hanging out in there. They decided to plant some pumpkins for their pumpkin.
Too much death. Gotta spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah, spruce it up.
Boop, beep, bop, boop.
I think the kitten is fussing about not being in the room with us.
Come in.
Sucks be it.
Doors back.
You can see the bottom of its bowl.
No, full bottom syndrome.
Alright, here we go. Get a good angle over here. So yeah, he goes, here's Bloom Wharf. It's of course, once again, named after the red bloom. It's home to one of the busiest ports in the world. Countless tons of cargo see their way in and out of here. People travel from all of the shards upriver to as far as the outside powers through the ocean. We also have world-class meat markets and, of course, the East Glade train station. So, yeah, and you guys just get the smell of raw fish and workers coming and going. You do see a massive ship docked as well as two smaller ones. And then they do have the East Glade train station. So this is where you originally came in from the trains as you arrived. But it's a very busy, bustling workhorse sort of place.
Very cool.
And he goes, so the train tracks here, they go across the river. As they do, it's going to make its way. It would make its way to quarters, but we're going to take a little bit of a different path. We're going to go back to where we headed, and bring you to the next place.
Do a lot of people live in this area too, or is it just workers mostly?
No, this is pretty much just workers. The people who work here will generally stay in Midtown, maybe quarters.
Well, generally what?
They'll live in Midtown or maybe quarters.
Ah.
So the next place we're going to is called the Crystal Yard. On the map, it is the teal one.
Let me guess, this is where the crystals come from.
Man, you're a bright one, aren't you? He
Wow.
says.
Sharp.
He says
I'm practically a
unironically.
genius.
She's real sharp. This one.
The general
Just
kind
a
of
bastion of intellect.
the general elbows you. No,
Sorry.
Your behavior. He's being quite kind to us. He doesn't get the mayor does not understand the irony, but everybody else he does. So he goes, this is what's driven all the growth in Rougeford, the Crystal Yard.
Some ominous music.
Vayani is noticeably uncomfortable here.
He goes, here we have the very important Fitzsimmons Low Magic Crystal Factory. They're the biggest employer of the city and provide the bulk of all low magic crystals in the world. It's really magnificent. Also here, they have many construction, hardware companies, as well as the new facility the factory owner built for Heroes and Heralds. And they're supporting companies as well. And you see at the end is so you have a massive factory and you can smell, that intense, burn your nose hairs are coming from that factory, quite directly. Over here we also have the West Glades train station. No. And then at
I'm
the
gonna
end...
stop her from trying.
Yeah. At the end, you see this huge facility for the Heroes and Heralds, and it's brand spanking new. Uh-huh.
So Heroes and Heralds, they're connected with the low magic?
No,
Crystal?
the mayor the general kind of speaks over the mayor and goes, so this low magic crystal factory is very important, and so the owner wanted some security, and he figured an easy way to do that, which is because the Heroes and Heralds actually used to be located in a different part of the city. He decided to move them next door. That way, if anything ever happened, he'd have a bunch of strong people real close, just to be frank. So he donated the entire facility to them.
So sort of bottom off, huh? Sort of bottom.
Yeah, it sounds
From-
like fine.
well,
It
from what I
sounds like.
I
He
mean, there's
goes-
a nicer version of it.
he, he says, from what I hear, he doesn't like hire them as any security guards. He hires private citizens for that. It's more like a
But you, like,
long-term
bottom roll.
insurance.
It's like protection money.
And he doesn't, other than in case anything horrible happens, he hasn't ever requested anything from them, as far as I know. Yeah.
Y'all talking mad
Right.
shit for y'all talking
Scarlett's
mad shit
writing
for this
little
amazing guild. That's all I'm saying.
Scarlett's writing notes. She's got some red string. She's like, yes.
KK stroking her chin.
We've cracked this case wide open.
So if you
Like the detectives.
if you head if we head south from here, we're gonna go to quarters, which on the map
Tyler's
is the
like, oh
dark
no.
purple. I mean, like,
Tyler's like, oh no, they've solved my whole
yeah,
plot.
they did. You
Oh, no.
I've
Oh,
been
no, we've been
bamboozled.
had.
Pack it up.
We've been
Hand
had.
over. Congratulations.
Can't believe we were the Rougarous the whole time.
What if the real Rougarous were the friends we made along the way?
Yo, all I can say
Nice.
is someone clip that and talk to me in a year.
For real.
So yes, next he says we're heading towards quarters.
I think Uptown Girl should be our theme song.
Not this
Agreed.
one.
Stop it.
We're the
Stop it.
Uptown Girls.
Stop
It's
it.
a
It's-
medieval cover of
You're the
Uptown Girl.
Heights
That's
girls.
our,
in
that's
this,
our name.
It's
You
the
start
Heights
asking
girls.
for Uptown Girl, I start fucking throwing VTuber shit out there. Don't make me do it.
So
Hell no.
We're not the same.
So yeah, you guys. He goes. There's his quarters, and you can see this place is. Everywhere else has been very nicely made and stone and purposely made. This place looks like it got hobbled together. It's all wood construction on a swamp. You know, planks are breaking. Everything's kind of like hodgepodge together. Everything's real tight corridors. People are close. Like, there's not stairs to get up. There's a lot of ladders.
Oh, they got the rope ladder to their house.
And so the mayor goes, you see, with the massive growths of the city with the crystals, we had to quickly make housing for all these new workers. They came faster than what we could build, so here it's mostly wooden structures close to the factory. And you can see he doesn't want to spend a lot of time here, and he goes, let's head to a different district real quick.
What? This is.
So the heroes.
Why don't we see
so
more
the
here?
heroes get the good. They get the good new nice building, and the people who live right next to the factory, they get just like this.
Well, that was privately funded by one individual. This is kind of, constructions and, we had zoning, and we did have to construct this rather quickly because people just kind of keep coming, and, not necessarily enough, the factory isn't quite growing as fast as the people coming in, and, there's some challenges we're trying to work through.
Scarlett writes down more notes. She's pulling out more red string. She's solving this mystery.
It turns out that poor people were the werewolves the whole time.
Knew it.
Old man Jenkins.
All right, and so he goes, okay, let's go back. Let's head past Crystal Yard and get to Leisure Levy, which is the pink district on my map.
Taking me away from exploring.
I know. I have all these stairs. I got all these stairs to walk all over.
Look, you guys are going to be
Taking
disappointed
me
if you think a lot
away.
of these places are populated. I'm just saying. You know
I
how
mean,
hard it
but I
was to
do
build
like-
what I already have.
I like the stairs. I like the stairs. I
Um,
like walking up the stairs. I like walking down the stairs.
Exercise.
he goes,
Exercise.
here we have made it to Leisure Levy. If you're looking for a good time, this is the place to go. Once the people started coming, so did our fabulous casino, Raleigh Shaw's. And shortly afterwards, did this adult establishment.
The brothel.
Correct. I would make sure to watch yourself in this area. Make some good life choices now. And so,
I always make good life choices.
on the left is a...
Scarlet
she shakes
Scarlet
her
blinks, not understanding.
This motherfucker just came from prison. So yeah, up first, there's a building full of lust, and then past it is kind of a grand casino
Full
built
of
up.
lust?
It's a brothel.
Like, but we can hear. And what I'm asking is, can we hear the lust? Can we
Jesus
feel
Christ.
the lust? Like in
Jesus
the air?
Christ.
You
Coming
can
out of the
extrapolate. No, there's not a direct sense. You don't get the smell of sex out the
No
windows.
lust, no lust smells, no
The
lust
musk,
sounds.
the musk as the door opens, the musk.
Oh,
I'd
God.
like
No,
to
it
make
just
a,
smells of perfume. You
I'd
know.
like to make a musk check, please.
Oh no!
No,
Sure,
they have the
DC
incense,
20, do it.
the incense smells
Oops,
Roll to be a prude.
to cover the lust. Roll to be a prude.
Hey,
Damn, good roll, Brian.
Hey, make it
Roll
a
a
nature
5.
check.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know,
make it a
he's got
nature
his-
check because it's all natural. Anyway, make it a nature check and
Oh
we
my
smell the
God.
musk.
God.
Anyway, so the mayor's like, so this is our grand casino, and let's head to that last district and let's grab a bite to eat. My treat.
Scarlet writes down more notes.
Oh, by the way, with the
Mayor is
Tato,
a prude? Question mark.
Mayor is 3 mimics in a trench coat? Question mark.
KK is looking over.
Podlers, Jesus Christ, you guys.
She's
Don't
just like,
give
hey,
away
can I
all
get
my
a copy
secrets."
of those notes later?
No, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were already starting a file. I was just sort of, well, honestly, I was just sort of zoned out there. That's okay.
You gotta pay attention. Gotta stay sharp. And she boops
So, yeah,
KK
they-
on the nose.
oh no! Oh, come on!
So you guys head to Crystal Yard, and you take this big, massive arched bridge over the Sanchez River, and you are now in Riverfront. And the mayor goes, so yes, this is Riverfront. It's the center of commerce. Oh, did I invite you guys?
No, you
No.
didn't.
Okay,
No.
I placed the tokens, but I didn't invite you. Okay.
There we go.
It's the center of commerce, and it's kind of like a downtown area here. Here near the river is Bloom Street. It's where all the major breweries and distillers are. It's quite the party location after dark. Then in the center here, we have a lot of the restaurants, and then surrounding them is kind of all the shops. And General Kavanaugh, at first, the mayor looks at you and goes, you have any questions about this place?
Wait, where are we again?
You're in Riverfront.
Riverfront.
It's kind of like a down...
Party central.
Party town?
It-
I thought
it's-
we passed Party town.
Well, it's like a downtown district, and so they have Bloom Street, which is on the front facing the river, and that is where all of the bars and distilleries are. And the center is where all the restaurants, and kind of surrounding those are all the shops.
Oh, so this is Party Town Central, and that was the Party Town outskirts.
Yes.
Excellent.
I mean, this
I
is
guess-
like...
This is
Okay,
Party Town.
look.
The other one was Degenerate
Yeah,
Town.
this is 6th Street, or this is a Bourbon Street.
Sixth
The other
Street.
place is just the Bunny Ranch. Like...
Gotcha. Understood.
And so,
understood.
Mayor goes, all right, if we go around, we grab a bite. And General Kavanaugh says, Mayor Boffins, do you mind if we take a small detour so I can see an old friend? And the mayor goes, but of course. He goes, great, it won't take long. Go ahead and, the mayor goes, I'll go ahead and grab a table at the restaurant, and then you can meet me there. He goes, that'll be great. And so General Kavanaugh actually leads you into a cafe. It's the one directly in front of you guys.
A cafe, you say?
A cafe.
I get some
Oh.
boba tea at the cafe.
So I'm just gonna blip y'all in here.
Does anyone recognize KK from her?
From her time in jail.
I was gonna say, anybody recognize KK from her time as a pop idol because y'all were getting boba, but
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. I caught.
Hey, bada
Hey.
bean.
So yeah, y'all walk into this cafe, and on the front it says Cafe du Soleil.
Cafe.
Mhm.
Like the Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
More like, I mean, if
More
you wanted
like
me to spell
I
out,
am
it's
the
Cafe
sun.
du Monde, which is Cafe of the Moon, except it's
Oh.
Cafe of the Sun.
Gotcha. Clever. Lovely.
So he brings you to this incredibly bustling cafe. You see people outside leaving with cups of coffee and people waiting to patiently get in and grab a table. But he walks you kind of directly through the threshold. No.
Is that lady on the table?
If someone's on the table, it's not meant to be. No, I just placed them at a weird angle. It's not that kind of establishment.
It's not.
Um,
It's not.
no.
That's big.
You walk through the threshold and immediately hit the smell of coffee and sugar fills your senses. This place is homey and welcoming. It's warm. And you can kind of understand why it's so popular, even kind of at a glance. And as you walk in, you hear a woman from across the cafe go, "Welcome to Cafe du Soleil. I'll be with you in just a moment, sugar." And General Kavanaugh goes, "Oh, come now. You wouldn't make an old friend wait like that, huh?" And the woman looks up and goes, "Well, as the day is long if it isn't General Kavanaugh. Let me finish grabbing these nice folks some coffee and let's head upstairs."
Oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
Cat?
Scared me.
Yeah. And so the lady goes, "Mr. Landry, I'm taking my lunch break." And you see kind of a pot-bellied halfling walk from behind the counter with a wool-worn apron and nods with a smile. She finishes distributing a tray of coffee and grabs another and says, "Y'all come on and follow me." And she takes you upstairs to a kind of small room. Let's get that going. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Alright.
Move us, sire. Move us.
And I think now's a good time to take a quick...
Sorry.
I think we're going to
Quick
take a quick tavern break. I think now's a good time. It'll be not a super long one, but I think it's a good time to take a little break. So,
Because we're gonna get our lord dog.
Lord,
supplies! We'll be back! Alright, so they head upstairs. I kind of wait for the lady to go, and then you hear Scarlet say, "Hey guys, I think we should put our calendars in
We
our
should put our
birthdays."
birthdays in each other's calendars while we wait.
Wait, I thought we were still at the... Oh, we're upstairs. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all wait for just a couple minutes while she finishes up and puts her things up, and Scarlet forces everybody to put their birthdays in the calendar.
At least in her calendar.
Yeah. And so before too long, she comes up with a tray, and she goes, "All right, now here is the cafe especially," and she puts it down and begins handing each of you a cup of coffee.
Nice.
If you drink it, it just brings like a warmth to your soul. And she goes, "And then here are Cafe du Soleil's world famous beignets." And hands you over
My God. Hell yes.
these warm pastries with powdered sugar. And none of you have had this before. This is like a delicacy to this place.
Y'all, Scarlet cries when she eats one.
Yeah.
KK puts it in her mouth and then accidentally inhales all the powder.
Calls for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's like such a light, beautiful dough and the powdered sugar goodness. They're hard not to love. And yeah, this is the first time y'all each have it. So yeah, Scarlet like tears up and Chris. She goes, "Yeah, you gotta be a little bit careful." She goes, "Well, General, to whom are these fine people that I have the pleasure of meeting?" And he goes, "Oh, yes." Stands up. "Let me not be rude," as he kind of puts down his beignet. "These are the individuals who have been selected for Operation Rougarou. Everyone, this is Captain Virginia Dupont. You may..."
Scarlet's got powdered sugar all over her face
Yeah,
now.
everybody's kind of a mess because it's impossible not to when you're eating a beignet.
Hey, like Tato just sitting there shaking his head.
Yeah, you like wipe the powdered sugar off your face, but then it just piles on your shirt, and then you wipe it off your shirt and it piles on your pants. He goes, "Everyone, this is Captain Virginia Dupont. You may remember seeing her name on the original docket."
Oh.
She goes, "Oh yeah, pleasure is mine, really. You look like a fine group of folk." She goes, "You see, I have been an intelligence gatherer for the United Shard since the fracturing of the shards. I kind of have a knack for listening into conversations people don't intend on others hearing, or maybe coaxing out a little bit of info that some might not normally want to share. We did some preliminary research and found that here at this cafe, it has a little bit more foot traffic than just about anywhere in Rougeford. And when you get people comfortable with good atmosphere and make their souls feel warm with a cup of coffee and a beignet, it's a little bit easier to sweet talk them over. So, as a result, anything that kind of happens above board here in Rougeford comes through these doors and ultimately ends on my ears.
Loose lips sink ships, basically.
You could say. But generally only things above board. And General Kavanaugh speaks up after taking a sip of coffee and goes, "That's right. That's why we informally included her in Operation Rougarou. Since she is a resource for you to utilize on your efforts." And she goes, "Yeah. If it's above board, people say it, and I know it. If you want anything to know below board, you're probably going to have to make some contacts in the underbelly. Even a good beignet won't make people spill their dark secrets, unfortunately.
It will make me
it'll
spill
make me
my
spill
dark
mine.
secrets.
They are rather good." She takes a bite of one. And she goes, "Oh, you have any questions for me up front?"
So you work here at the cafe?
Yeah,
Most
I
of the
mean,
time?
the owner knows what I'm ultimately doing. He got a free worker out of it, but I mostly just work here and listen and coax and just I want to know what's happening kind of within the city.
So are we gonna be working with you as well? Like with our
You're mostly
work?
autonomous. You can just use me as a resource as you see fit.
Gotcha. Do y'all have any boba tea?
No, I'm mostly just coffee here.
Okay.
General Kavanaugh wipes off that powdered sugar just a little bit. He was a very clean eater, but he got a little bit on his suit.
I mean, you can't help but get a little
And
messy.
he goes, it's impossible not to
Them
have this
beignets.
happen. And he kind of laughs and kind of points at the rest of y'all and goes, at least I'm not this bad.
No, you're certainly in good company with us.
He says, well, we better not leave Mayor Bothan's waiting forever. Thank you so much, Captain. I suppose we shall be taking our leave now. Which is mighty fine meeting, all of y'all. Feel free to drop by whenever.
Scarlet waves.
So your party takes its leave and it heads around the block. Get you to the next place. Five. Tedious. 6. There we go. It head around the block and you get the smell and sensations of all kinds as you come around. Across Bloom Street, you hear some bits of rudeness from the bars, and around the restaurant block is countless sensations. So many exotic foods that you guys haven't ever interacted with. It's kind of a melting pot of the whole country at this point, you know. But you all make the way around, and General Kavanaugh leads you to a restaurant that outside says Vittles. And as you cross the threshold, you get the sense of comfort food that your mom would kind of make on a stormy day. And across the restaurant, you see Mayor Boffin's like waving you guys down as he got a table. You get set up in here. So he kind of sits y'all in this back corner. Move his ass over.
I'm just dying over here. Don't worry about me.
Cool. See you never, bro.
You coughing
Roll a
on
death
that
save.
on that powder sugar.
Yeah, on that back. He goes, there you are. General Kavanaugh says and takes a seat. Mayor Boffin says, this is the best restaurant in all of Ball of Clay. They got the best foods, specifically local from the area. And soon a half-orc gentleman walks up to a nearby table. He's absolutely huge and has a big old pot belly. He's in a full chef's getup with a white apron and a tall chef hat. He drops off 2 bowls of food to a nearby table, and as he turns around, he goes, welcome to Vittles. My name is Chef Sebastian LeBlanc, and he makes eye contact with General, and he goes, well, if the swamp don't rot, General, Mayor, nice to see you. The 2 guys stand up, and they give each other, like, a warm hug. And he goes, and who do you have with you today? General speaks up and goes, yes, these are some new recruits. They have important jobs, and the mayor and myself are treating them to the best meal in Rougeford. And he goes, well, you brought them to the right place, my friends. What would you all like? We got the best food in all of Barclay. I can get you some gumbo, or jambalaya, or etouffee. The fried catfish and scrimps, froglet, po' boy. I get you to some pistolets to start with. If you come in a couple weeks, I'll have some crawfish.
I don't know any of those things.
These are things that none of you
Scarlet.
have ever experienced.
I'm not familiar.
Scarlet
How-
takes a stab in the dark and orders pistolets.
Hey,
get
I
a-
want to know how close did I live to where this motherfucker's from to know if I know what the hell that is?
Not.
Not
it's
close
just,
enough.
No, it's just like the only person who maybe would be Chris, but I would make her roll first.
Yeah, she doesn't really know.
But this is like a very local food, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
us all being from radically different places, is there like, I mean, will we see our native dishes in a city like this?
Sure,
Is this
yeah.
like, oh, okay.
This is like they brought you to the this is a melting pot. Especially these restaurants have so many different kinds of foods. Like you probably caught something that you remember from your home, but like the one they brought you to introduce you to the city is the local restaurant. You know.
Scarlet, I'm changing Scarlet's order. Scarlet is going to ask him what his favorite thing is, and she's going to order that. What the restaurant
He goes,
owner's favorite
I make
thing
the
is.
best damn gumbo you ever had.
She's like, I'm going to order that then. She's
Hey,
like, I'll have some of that.
I'd also like to try the gumbo, yes.
Can I get some what you call them scrimps? I need
You
some.
want fried? You want some fried scrimp? I got some fried scrimp for you.
I need them scrimps.
Ooh, my
man.
shy.
What was this guy's name again?
His name was Chef Sebastian. What was his last name? Sebastian LeBlanc.
Can I
I
get
know a
the
LeBlanc.
etouffee?
The etouffee? That was a good try, my child. He hits you on the, he like gives you a friendly pat on the back. That's like too strong. You kind of jolt forward. How about you, my it seems I still need to order from the young gentleman over here and the young lady.
I think I'll try the, what did you say, jambalaya?
The jambalaya is damn good, I don't tell you. And how about you, miss? And he points to the thing.
I'm not familiar. What is an andouille?
Andouille? Yo, you want some sausage? We have some made fresh from the meat markets.
Yes, that, please.
I bring it to you with some rice, my child.
I got a question though. So like, you gonna give me a big plate of scrimp or like what the size is?
Now you see this belly? I don't make nothing no
That is
small.
so-
What the
He
so
jiggles his
like?
big pot belly.
Hell yeah! So like,
You
so
don't get
what-
this way by little plates, my child.
Guys, we
Hey.
gotta protect the chef at all costs. This is not-
He's a
This is
absolute.
If anything happens to him, I'll kill everyone. in
Everyone
this.
Then myself.
Then myself.
This is,
I'm
this is
already-
the NPC we get attached to.
I'm already putting him in the notes as a true gem. True gem.
Yeah,
And
and
fave.
he goes, Mayor and General, and the mayor goes, I'll get some frog legs, and the general goes, we'll take a scrimp po' boy. He goes, absolutely, I'll be right down with it.
Wait. Oh, excuse me. I don't need that bucket of shrimp. Give me that scrimp, po' boy. Give me that.
You want that
Give me
po' boy?
scrimp Oh, absolutely.
All right, but
Listen,
you-
I didn't know that.
You look like you could use a po' boy. You don't. You got holes in your shoes. You a po' boy too, and he kind of laughs. And in that way, that's like a super like someone who like definitely steps over the line, but in such a friendly way, it's hard to hate.
He's a droll boy.
He's like, let me get that order for you, and then let's chat. And so he goes, and in the back kitchen, you can just get the smells, and you look over, and everybody's just like woofing their food. It's so good. And at first, he comes like, oh, here's an order of pistolets for the table. And he goes, great. And so everybody gets a pistolet, which we all know, but for the viewers that don't, they're like generally they have like crawfish
Pastry.
and it's kind of like an etouffee in like a pastry, a fried dough. And they're great. They're so fucking good, bro. And so
It's a meat donut.
It's a meat donut.
and then it's like a kolache except Cajun, like and
Oh yeah,
even
it is.
Yeah.
and instead of baked, fried. And so he comes in and brings him the big tray of food and hands out everybody's order. And he goes, "This the best damn food you're gonna have here in Rougeford. You best keep your mama away lest you slap your mama." And everybody like politely chuckles at it.
What?
He pulls up a chair and kind of leans back and goes, "Yeah." As he sits down, you go, "Well, how'd the war going?" And General goes, "Well, we've actually managed to get the mines back, so they're a little less dire than they were before." He goes, "Ah, yeah, them Black Iron Bandits, they done come in here not too long ago. They made fun of Rex for eating alligator bites and made a scene. I done laughed at them too. I let them have the meal for free for what they done, but they just called themselves idiots and couillons and left." They,
Wait! You got alligator bites up in here, bro?
yeah, I got the alligator bites.
You're gonna get what a mouthful. Can I get some of my alligator bites?
You gonna have me after I sit down. I went, "Hey, you gonna make me get you come, I tell you what, you come in here with your own money next time you get some alligator bites. It ain't gonna be the best damn alligator bites."
Alright.
Eat alligator?
Yeah, you could eat the gator. It tastes like
What
chicken.
does it taste like?
It tastes like chicken.
Like
I'm
chicken.
up
It's the
for it,
chicken of
hell
the chicken of the swamp.
This is Scarlet.
of the
This is
swamp.
Scarlet. But
Oh,
Emily loves alligator.
Oh, yeah, you're right,
bites.
yeah.
Emily loves-
Yeah,
So-
for the viewers, this city is based on New Orleans, but like we're from Southeast Texas, which literally is. I mean, it's more.
Louisiana adjacent.
Yeah, it's more Cajun than it is Texas.
It's
if
the
you had a
Texas
barometer.
Louisiana.
Yeah, so like these are all things that are local to us, and that's why I kind of brought them into the game. They're fun.
Literally, swamp people have
And
been
then
shot
had
here.
Yeah,
Really?
we swamp folk.
Swamp people have been shot literally here. Okay.
So he goes, yeah, they called themselves couillon idiots, and they left. I think they're all a few trees short of an orchard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, buddy.
We met them just a little while ago, actually, before we came here.
Yeah, the general. Yeah, they're held up at Fort Marshope, so I hear them quite a bit. I know exactly what you mean. He chuckles.
What is it? What is it that they do?
they seem rather animated at whatever it is they do.
So when they brought back the
Honor.
payload, they negotiated that they would protect it and help with some research with it. You know, like Shepard's quite a smart boy, and
There's the rest of them.
yeah, well, Zelroth is magically inclined, and the other two are quite frankly good bodyguards for such an important thing. So we saw it fit that it made sense. He takes a big swip of the sweet tea that they brought a pitcher out for. And so the mayor is the mayor goes, "So how's preparations for the Red Bloom Festival going?" And the chef leans forward and goes, puts a shoulder on the table and goes, "Oh no, things are bad. I ain't waiting to do a cook-off this year." And Mayor Boffin goes, "Well, but why not? You're the 5-time champ. Nobody can beat your Gator Gumbo." And he goes, "Well, you lads say you want a gator, but I can't get no gator. All the hunters too scared to go in damn swamps now. Too many of these Rougarou sightings got them spooks. No gator, no gumbo." Mayor Boffin's goes, "Well, we can't have that. Your gumbo is a treasure of the city." General Kavanaugh sits up and says, "Well, I might have a solution for you. My recruits here have a bit of time on their hands, and their courage is iron and steel." He kind of looks at you guys, and he goes, "How about I lend them to you for a bit? I'm sure they'd love to help. Plus, they're trying to get to know the city a little bit better. In fact,
Will we get to have some gator bites? It's like a reward.
Hey, mouthful of tato, please. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it for some gator bites,
and
please.
so
I'll do it for some gator bites.
the general smiles and points at you guys. And y'all are mostly through the meal, and it's fucking the best meal you've ever had in your whole fucking lives. It's so
Great.
good, bro. So he points at them, and y'all like begging for more gator and loving, and goes, "In fact, do you think if they could bag you a gator, you get them to talk with some of the restaurant cooperatives to learn more?" And Sebastian LeBlanc looks at you guys at what you just said, and looks at General, and gives a smile and raises a cheeky eyebrow and goes, "Oh, really? That would do the trick. You think these 6 could take down a 12-foot gator? I need a big one."
Tato just swallows up and just says, "I'll wrestle that fish myself. Come here, let's go."
Yeah, General Cameron, I can take down a dozen 12-footers. He looks over at you guys and gives you a wink. Goes, well,
Yeah.
I reckon if they can do that in the next day or two, I can get them to talk to them restaurant boys.
And you could throw in some gator bites?
I'll make you some damn good gator bites, my child.
Hell yeah.
He goes, General Cameron goes, well, as long as I get some bites too, it's a deal. And they both smile and give each other a handshake. He goes, and so, General goes, yeah, this might be y'all's way to talk to those restaurant guys. He kind of gives you a wink. He goes, well, how about I bring you all some bread pudding and we call this meal settled, huh? And the mayor go, yeah, put it on my tab. Bring us some bread pudding. And
Hell
so he
yeah.
goes, alright, I just gotta get up. And it takes him a long Gets this big pot belly
Makes all the
over his center of
appropriate
gravity so he can stand up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know this man.
Yeah.
We all know this
Yeah.
man.
I am familiar with this man.
And he comes back and with 6 small bowls and gives it to you guys. And these seem like a little bit of a small portion, but you take that first bite and it's so sweet your gums hurt. Like, your teeth are done for.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
And he goes, it pairs well with the sweet tea. Which is also literally past the
And we just
saturation
go-
point of sugar.
We just all go into diabetic shock. So-
I joined the military and I don't regret shit.
Yeah.
This is very different from how I thought it'd be, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, so the chef goes, well, I got to get back to cooking. We got more people coming, but you give me that gator the next day or two, I'll get you set up. And so
Thank you, Chef.
he walks off and General goes, well, seems like a good little way to get you guys inside that first guild. How's that sound?
Yeah, I mean, how hard could bagging a 12-foot alligator be?
It would be very difficult. I knew
Well,
many
but
people
yeah,
that
but there's
tried
like-
and died.
There's like 6 of us, though, right?
I saw a
That's how
party
we
of 10
up there.
once.
What's up, party
Oh.
10? How big was the motherfucker though?
I believe 13 to 14.
Yeah.
Well, see, and we're doing under that. We're doing under that.
We're doing under that. We say.
General
And then
goes,
we
well,
find the biggest
Well, look, I'm here
alligator.
for it. I'm
Well,
already dialed in
look,
though.
you guys have the freedom at this point to do what you so wish. I believe we have given you the resources we can and gave you a good lay of the land and what you're looking to do. I do have 4 things I have to get back to, but you guys kind of have the freedom to do as you wish now. So I will leave you to preparations.
Could we get like an alligator-sized bag for this mission?
I mean, it's gonna stay good in its hide. Just bring the whole gator.
Oh.
Clearly, someone who hasn't watched Swamp People. Oh.
And he goes, anyway, that's for y'all to decide. I trust you guys. Don't let me down. I will, if you need me, I'm going to be busy, but I'll be at Fort Marshope. Mayor, it's been a pleasure. He goes, oh, yes, of course. Always nice to see you. Hopefully I got to see you for the parade on Monday. He goes, oh, yes. I will certainly be there as well, the 6 of you guys. Good chance to meet everybody. But I shall take my leave. Mayor, you probably should as well. He goes, ah, yes. Good luck, guys.
Is it just me who's imagining kind of the Monopoly Man with the mayor? I'm imagining like the Monopoly Man.
The thing with him is, like, he's very clearly a farce. Like, he's just like, everything's great. I love it here.
There is
I mean,
no
But he doesn't have a-
that's
but-
There's no bar.
You
by
can-
6
you can see
a.m.
That's why I'm thinking of the
Yeah.
Monopoly Man.
So yeah, they take their leave, and you guys are kind of left to your own vices now.
Okay.
Is the mayor still there with us?
Unless you stop them, both him
Wait,
and
so we're in the restaurant still. We're just
yeah, y'all
hanging
are loitering at this point, just hanging out.
out? We're loitering at this point. Excellent.
Cool.
Police are about to be called.
I am very interested in attaining one of these alligators.
Oh shit.
Well, that's what we're about to go do, I guess.
Yes.
I don't think they're poisonous, so I don't think that they would actually be of much benefit to you.
I do have dibs on portions of its flesh.
I think we're supposed to give all of it to Chef.
I think that things can be arranged, perhaps.
What is it that you're wanting from it?
You want its
In-
heart?
Information? Or do you
Brain?
mean
What? You're gonna get
What?
information from a gator?
I've never seen a gator before? I mean,
Oh.
surely it's got resources that could be utilized for
It's like a big
concoctions,
lizard.
perhaps.
It's like a big lizard.
Thank God there's no fucking lizard folk here,
Really
otherwise
big.
I'd say race it!
Hey, y'all heard him say that the Black-Eyed Bandits were making fun of Rex for eating gator gumbo because he had gator folk.
Wild.
Makes sense.
It's true. It do be happen.
Which one of y'all was Rex, by the way? I can't remember.
Me.
All right, yeah, and he didn't say a word about what I said. You know it's true.
True.
It's true.
Cannon. Boom.
All right. So, yeah, you guys. After a while, the restaurant owner sees y'all still here. Goes, "Oh, you guys making the plans?"
Making the plans to literally come back here every day after we kill this motherfucking gator every goddamn day. I'll be out of shape. You hear me?
I do know the feeling, and he pats his belly out loud. He goes, I heard reports there was alligator nests out on East Glaze.
East Glade.
But they some big ones. Yeah, you remember that generally, like, the Sanchez River, that bisects the city. Anything to the east is the East Glades, anything to the west is the West Glades. Just so it's like a shorthand. That's how they call it in the city.
Gotcha.
Because I heard there was a strong nest. But people do be seeing the Rougarous, so,
That's
be
what
careful.
I was gonna ask. Have you seen a Rougarou?
Me? No, I stay in the restaurant. I have no reason to go out.
So they don't ever come into like near the city. They're
No,
like
no
out.
sightings. I mean, I have people here in the restaurant that say they don't see them, but it's usually the outskirts, and they get spooked and run.
And they come out like during the full moon, right?
So that is what the legends say, but in the last couple of weeks, people be seeing them every night almost. It's odd.
That is weird.
The city seems to be not at ease.
Are they like different from like other werewolves? Cause like, right? There are other werewolves that exist.
The legend my mama done told me say that. Let me pull it exactly. It's I'm just gonna read from the docket.
I guess what I'm asking is like, are Rougarous the only werewolves that exist, or are they different from other werewolves? Like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Here we go. It goes, well, werewolves aren't real for most people.
Well, but there's like legends, you
right.
know, like where I'm from too, there's legends of werewolves.
Yes, you from Wilachi?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got lots of stories over there about the werewolves. Ours are a little different. They run around the swamps real fast. My mama done told me, and these new kids, they just get scared to say their prayers. But my mama done told me that the curse is for 101 day, and anybody who is attacked gets the curse. But you won't transform unless you tell someone that you saw a Rougarou. That seems to be specific to this area.
Huh.
Very strange.
And like there are people who like come back and tell you about it too, right?
Well, they come and they say they saw a big, hairy wolf man and got scared and ran straight out. No couillons too dumb to just stand there.
So no one's come in claiming that they were attacked by a Rougarou.
No, the city's too scared to say that. If they tell you, then they get transformed. You keep that secret close to chest, you fine.
So it's not about seeing them. So like you could tell someone that you saw them, and it would be cool. But if you tell someone you were attacked by one, then you change?
If you were attacked and told them you don't saw it, you change.
Okay.
Ah,
That seems to be the difference between your werewolves and our Rougarou.
Gotcha.
Other than, how they tread in the swamps. And Rougarou seem to, be really powerful, but...
also, I need to ask for clarification as far as attack means. Attack attempted or like damage must be taken upon your person in order, and like it's like a kind of infection, like a magical infection kind of like thing.
Well, next time I attack by Rougarou, I wait 101 days and I'll tell you. How about that?
He won't tell us. Because you'll keep it a
Yeah.
secret, right? You'll keep
I've
it
never been, have you been attacked by
I bet
Rougarou?
no one
I don't know.
No.
These are
Shit.
old legends from the old
Of course
days.
not.
All right.
I mean, my mama done told me and her mama done told her, and that goes on for
The
hundreds
reason
of
I
generations.
ask is because it would be really messed up if all 6 of us go out and we get attempted, like attack is attempted, and because of the qualifications have been met, we no longer can say the words "we've been attacked by a Rougarou."
Yeah.
Like,
He goes, you ask me, it's in my blood to believe. But it's also what they say don't necessarily line up with the legends either. Why they seeing them every night? They don't make no damn sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
You hear a patron in the
huh?
back of us, can I get my gumbo? He goes, you gonna wait your damn turn. Well, I'm sorry, I gotta go deal with these cool. But
Okay.
y'all go give me the gator, I'll get you gate bites.
Yeah.
And so he walks off and deals with these customers. Yeah.
So I guess you guys want to go check out the song. Oh, I'm gonna look at my calendar. You said our calendar has the moon phases on it.
Correct.
What phase of the moon are we in?
Look.
It will be a full moon at the end of the week.
Oh.
look at y'all keeping track of that minor detail shit. Look at that, man.
Why don't we just
I
I told everybody what day it was at the beginning. Yeah, it's March 19th today.
why don't we
so.
just pick up all the side
You said
quests?
it was
Today
Monday,
the
right?
moon.
Yeah.
Today the
Today is
moon
Monday?
is waxing gibbous.
Gibbons.
Yes.
So that means tomorrow's full moon.
Ooh.
So, Colton, you were talking about doing all the side quests before we do this main
Yeah,
quest.
I said let's grab all the side quests while we're on this part of town.
Oh yeah.
Like we should just go around and.
Let me go grab the
Get all
Easter
the-
currents too.
No,
Yeah.
Where's the exclamation
So
point
they can
above
stop
the
asking
NPCs?
people for rides.
No. How far
Uber
away are the
driver.
swamps? How far away are the swamps from where we're at now?
I mean, so the city is literally surrounded by swamps. The second you get to the end of town, you're in swamps. You are, I mean, if you want to be specific, I'll pull up the map on stream. You were in Riverfront, so you're in the center of town, but, I mean, it's not a... You go a 30-minute walk in either direction, you're hitting swamps.
Okay.
And so he did say the East Glades, which would be...
What time is it now? Like, are we
now it's probably about, I mean, y'all been walking around, it's probably about, like, 4 or 5 o'clock? Early afternoon?
And so, like, are we approaching? What time of year is it?
It
the
is
sun
March 19th.
going to be setting soon? Okay,
March
so
19th. Long days.
we got long days.
Yep.
Well,
And,
you guys,
they did say
you
that
guys
he
wanna go
basically
to the
needs it
swamp
today or
now?
tomorrow because
Okay.
he has to cook it and the Bloom Festival starts Monday.
Scarlet slams her hands down on the table and she's like, "Y'all want to go to the swamps tonight?"
Tonight?
And she looks.
Oh.
She looks
I think it's
at
a better
everyone.
idea to go tonight than
Tonight.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night's a full moon.
You can
Yeah.
reasonably say like you can make it there by, during while the sun's still up. If you can bag it quick and get back, it'll still it'll be early hours of twilight. If you
That-
take some time, it'll be a little bit later.
We do.
Yeah,
if we
okay.
go tonight, we would have to be careful. Alligators do hunt at night.
Well, yeah. Let's just go back
Well, I mean,
one real
like-
quick.
Like now, because we could do some stuff before the sun goes down tonight.
We could go now.
Literally go
Sounds
get our
good.
shit, go back this fucking
I
gate,
like
throw it on
it.
this man's doorstep. Well, actually, we gotta. I think
We
I
got
think I
rope.
heard a little bit. We gotta put it on ice though. If this man's gonna literally get it in the morning though, if we go
I
and
mean,
do it.
I think.
It'll
I mean,
last.
when I asked him, he said he seemed like it would be fine. So, that's Chef's problem. Chef's problem.
Yeah, it's not our problem.
He told us to bring him a gator, we'll bring him a gator.
At least put it in some moisture. At least do that. The dead needs to be put it in moisture.
Connor,
Still.
your character's name is Vay, right?
Yeah, Vay.
Vay,
Vayani Tara.
Vay-
Vayani Tara Leah.
Vay-
Or just V.
Atari. Vay, do you know how to find alligators?
I have some experience tracking them. Not much, but it could certainly help.
Nice. Let's do it.
I'm gonna say that y'all almost certainly didn't bring. You're not strapped. You'll have to like.
Wait,
No,
what did you tell me?
We could go to our.
Yeah,
go
you
back
probably
to
have to
our
do it,
ferry.
which is a very short, like 10-minute detour from where you're at to head back to the fort.
We'll go back to our bedroom, our shared bedroom.
To your quarters.
Communal
And we'll
sleeping
get our
space.
stuff. We'll
One
get our
big
stuff.
bed.
One big bed. Y'all, we're gonna put our beds all together.
Oh,
Make
no.
one big
We just
Guys.
We've got so much more room.
Guys,
We'll have so much more room
we've
for
already made
activity.
the step bro jokes. Like, so much more room for activity.
You guys want to go do karate in the basement?
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit!
Tyler, we
Oh,
need
and did
bunk
someone just like
beds.
that?
Bunk beds.
We need bunk beds.
We haven't.
Look.
KK
You go
has
make-
the top bunk.
Y'all go
KK and
ask the
Scarlet.
general.
KK and Scarlet are making bunk beds.
Y'all go ask the general, and he'll see what he can make happen.
We're gonna write.
We're gonna ask nobody.
All right.
And
I'm writing
find
this
her in her
down in the.
bedroom.
I'm writing this down in the notes. Send in a request for bunk beds
So-
that we have room
Yeah, y'all jog about bug beds, and you make it back to your
for.
room. And
Investigative
wrestling
activity.
Walking back to the room, Vayani Tara realizes that was the first time anyone's ever called her Vay besides Numaloth.
Oh.
Aww.
So yeah, you get to
You
your.
thinking about boys? I can see it. You thinking about boys?
Oh my god!
What you thinking about?
What you thinking about?
Boys.
So you get back to your rooms, you strap up. You have the choice of wearing common clothes or your uniform. It's a conscious choice you can make of how showy you want to be. So
I mean, Scarlet's really excited to try on her military uniform. So, like, Scarlet wants to wear the military uniform out, I think. She would at least want to wear her boots.
yeah,
Military.
yeah. Is everybody cool with wearing your uniforms after she just suggests it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
all
I ain't got a problem.
you all wear it, and it's incredibly well fitting. Whenever you enlisted, they took your measurements and they got it down to the T. You're wearing
We look
armor; it
hot.
fits over your armor.
We looking fine.
You looking fine.
They got my chest popping out, bro. They got my chest popping.
Yeah.
They got
And you see, kind of within the breast, there's a little note
Last days.
there's a little note that explains how like the history of the uniform of like, oh yeah, it's the color red, which was the color of the people.
And about how military uniforms are it's supposed to look sexy on everybody
Yeah,
for
and how-
reasons.
You know how like the red, part of the Red Bloom Festival and all that, and also like whenever people get hurt, it's you can show no weakness. And so
Oh, for the blood.
yeah, you bleed out, nobody knows.
Yeah, the captain
Damn.
of the brown pants.
Damn.
Yeah, red shirt, brown pants.
Damn, son.
Damn.
And so unless y'all say otherwise, I'm gonna say.
I just realized I have a shit ton of fucking gear. 2 hand axes, a great sword, and then my commemorative sword I don't use. I'm fucking lugging some shit.
Yeah. You might want to leave the fancy sword at the barracks.
Yeah, I will actually. I'll put that sword up for.
In the special box.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I actually can add that into the inventory.
Our
Yes,
special
yes.
box?
Yeah. Well, like about that whole custom item, I actually could do that.
So you guys trek out to the swamp, and since it was a beautiful day, but it's since become overcast, and You see kind of fogs from the swamps that are kind of famous for the area come in, and as you take steps, it seems like every other step is like your boot kind of sticking in the mud and plopping back up. It's hard to move, and like you can't quite see the bottom of where you're walking. And this is just kind of as you take your first steps, but you are now in the East Glade swamps.
Is the green, is that water?
Yeah, I think I have it a little bit higher than what I wanted. It's water, but you can step on it.
Okay.
It's like...
It's goo.
Yeah, and like sometimes like it's a little deep, but like it's all walkable.
Scarlet is gonna turn to Vay and be like, "Well,
All right.
what do you think?"
So, Tyler, I have a feature called Wanderer.
Okay.
And I'll read it to you. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you.
Okay.
In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. So, I would imagine if I had that, plus a nature check, I would be able to try to look for the alligator.
I don't think that particularly helps you. It's looking for, because that's like specifically mentions like small berries and plants and fresh water. This is more like big game. I'll let you attempt.
But it would be more like I would have a general idea where to look, and then just be able to do a nature check.
I'll give you a nature check with a slightly lower DC.
With a what?
Slightly lower DC.
Okay.
Oh,
And just
Tyler,
even by being a druid.
Just to let you know, just asking.
Uh-huh.
Did I clarify that the crafted sword was a great sword or not? Or was it
It's whatever kind of sword that you would start with, but if you want it to be a great sword, as long as it has the same stats.
Yeah. It would be a great sword, but like it's just like I said, I'm not using it. It's just for purposes and for you to do whatever you wanted with it on your end.
Yeah. So.
I rolled a 14 on my nature check.
Okay. So you tell me what Vay's looking for, just in a aesthetic sense?
She would be looking for any sort of embankment or plants that have looked like they have been stepped on near the riverbank, like a gator that like climbed onto land, or any plants that have been crushed underneath like gator's weight, or any like collection of vines or anything under the water that looks like it had been disturbed by something larger than like a trout.
Okay. You have not dealt directly with gators, but you are from Apamea, which is famous for very large reptiles. And so you kind of know how to track them, and you're kind of going off of something similar. And you're looking around for where you would expect a reptile to lay its eggs. And as they and Scarlet have been running around kind of rampantly while everybody else is kind of bubbled up, you look up at KK and you realize like she's close to where something is, and you hear a and you go, and you know that she's in immediate danger.
KK, you need to move now.
And at that moment,
oh fuck!
Damn.
That's a big boy.
That's a big. Oh shit! He got bigger.
at that point, out
He
of the
grew
water
just as we
comes
were looking at him.
out of that comes a 15, 16 foot gator.
Oh no!
And at that moment, you're all scared, and you'll roll initiative on episode 3 of Operation
I knew it.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Damn.
Damn,
I
B.
was wondering if we were gonna get to do this.
Hell no, we weren't.
Things.
Hell no! This shit's almost 10 o'clock. Hell, fucking
Yeah.
no!
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
It's a big boy.
That's a big gator right there, my
That's
son.
a big data, my bro. He made a lot of good data, but I tell you, watch out.
So
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to get out of the swamp.
By
y'all.
the way, he said 10 10 to 12, with that being 16, that means that's 4 extra pounds of gator bites,
That's
baby.
for gator bites.
4
So
extra pounds of gator
to
bites.
everybody watching on YouTube, I'm about to break. Next week I'll post Tavern Therapy, which we're about to go into. But if you enjoyed what you saw, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter. Check out World Anvil if you're into that. And then next Tuesday we'll be at twitch.tv/limeyporcupine, where we will play
Yeah.
Starfinder. Until then, we head to Tavern Therapy.